Oh my God. Hello, everyone. And it is that
Hello.
time again. This, believe it or not, is it's once again time. BB Can is starting up very soon. And so with that, it is time to once again do another draft for a BB Can season, sticking with tradition. I always get excited around this time for a couple reasons. One, because I always get excited for BB Can season, but also because it's BB Can drafts are very special for us because that was the first video we actually ever did as a part of this podcast together. So crazy that we're here 2 years later, still going strong with this and hopefully getting a bit more on track. Like I said, we've had a lot going on, but
Yeah,
with
we're
BB
definitely
Can,
like trying to
Survivor,
get more. We're trying to be more consistent again with this.
Yes, definitely. We hope we're able to do that. Also, again, we will address two quick things right off the bat. One, I know I said before we are going to do a BB24, sort of overview at some point. We were going to for this, but honestly, because this is BB Can and not BBUS, and we still have a BBUS season coming out later in the summer, I feel like it makes more sense to tie an overview to a BBUS season before we do a cast assessment for a BBUS season than before we do a cast assessment for a BB Can season. So we will just talk about BB24 then. Give our little overview because obviously that's a very important season to talk about. And we never really got the chance, I think, to give that season its justice. We wrote it off very early on, and we finally watched through the entire thing. So we will eventually do an overview of that at some point. So that's the first thing we want to address. The second thing that I think is very important to address when talking specifically about this season is addressing the elephant in the room. It has been reported from numerous outlets, including the BB Can Twitter itself, that unfortunately, due to a bunch of factors that we don't really know, live feeds are not really a thing this season, at least not in the traditional sense. Instead, they're going to be doing what's called digital dailies, which is it's going to be much more like an after dark type format. And I'm going to give my thoughts on it real quick, and then I kind of want to hear your perspective on it because I feel like we've talked a little bit about this, but I do want to hear a little bit from your perspective. But basically what I want to say about this is, look, I understand that they're trying to take a different approach to this season, but there's certain things that I feel like are a staple of Big Brother, and the live feeds is very much one of them. When you take that away, it's almost like it doesn't feel complete. You look especially at last season in particular, and while I will say I think things were well edited in terms of the way they told the story, there were certain people like a Marty, like a Jess, those two in particular, like a Kyle, who their hateful rhetoric and the things that they said, they weren't really seen for the public because they were seen on the feeds and they weren't really presented on the show. And because of that, we have people like Marty getting, America's favorite player or Canada's favorite player because of it. And when you take away regular feeds, all you are basically doing is feeding into that narrative. That's all you're really doing. You're giving them a chance to protect themselves, and you yourself are, keeping yourself from holding them accountable. And I feel like, one of their reasonings for getting rid of the live feeds was for like mental health reasons. And all that makes me think is we don't want the mental health of the players to be impacted when they get out of the house because they said problematic things. My response to that is just do fucking better. Like, that's my response, is just simply do better. If you're going to come into the house and you know that people are going to watch you, just don't do those terrible things that people are going to hate you for, but also are going to cause mental distress and on a lot of the house guests. Don't do those kind of things. And I think
Mhm.
that really is the best answer here. And when you are limiting feeds and things like that, it's basically welcoming that type of behavior. And I don't think they realize the domino effect it's going to have on the overall game. I don't think it improves really anything. And like Arissa did come out and say a couple things. One, it's very clear. I feel like this was not her decision. She was not very happy with the way that this was handled.
No, I don't think she's happy at all.
Yeah, I feel like there were definitely some higher ups that were kind of pushing her to do it. Now, I don't think she's totally blameless in this scenario. She is still a pretty big voice in terms of the executive producer. She has a very large role here. So ultimately,
Yeah.
I do think she probably made some of the decision, but I don't think this was her idea in any way. I think this was definitely something that she probably had to warm up to and kind of was just like, okay, fine, we'll do that. I'm not really
Yeah.
into it, but we'll do it. But she has come out and said we're going to see like all the strategy talk and things like that. And that's all great. But again, what is the basis behind that strategy? You look at BB24, if we had just seen strategy talks of let's target Taylor, I think the narrative would be much different than what it ended up being because we don't really know why are they targeting Taylor. That's the thing.
Mhm.
We don't know the motive. We don't know the reasoning. And I think
Exactly.
take that away, it's just simply not the same game anymore. And also, again, it's holding those people that it's holding those people from having to acknowledge their wrongdoings, from having to acknowledge the things that they did, the actions that they took, the microaggressions that they used, their tone of their voice, certain actions that took place. If we don't get to see it, they can easily say, oh, that didn't happen. And that's really fucking bad when you do that. Like
Mhm.
that really is the kind of stuff that's like you're actively silencing players from like getting to discuss that stuff that was traumatic to them. And I don't think that's something that should happen. We should be open to talking about this stuff to limit it from happening on reality shows. We want to see less of this. We don't want to see an increase of it. And I feel like when you are when you are limiting capabilities like live feeds and things like that, you're actually amplifying those kind of people from playing the games. And I think it's going to do is it's going to increase the amount of problematic behavior we see because they'll think, oh, well, Canada or America is not going to see this, so we can just get away with it. So yeah, that's really my 2 cents on it. I'm not really big into the whole digital dailies thing. What my hope is that they try this out, realize everybody hates it, and go back to it next season because I really am not for this at all. I feel like, yes, we're going to see numerous hours of stuff, but it's not going to be the same. There's going to be stuff we don't see, and I'm going to be much more curious and frustrated by the things we don't see than by the things we did get to see. So, yeah, that's really my 2 cents. Obviously, we haven't seen how digital dailies have played out, but again, I feel like all I'm going to think about, and this is coming from someone that doesn't typically watch feeds. I usually just look at like the Twitter notifications or I watch like RHAP, like Taryn's morning updates and things like that, just because I don't really have time to like just sit and like focus on the feeds. And it's great that people do. I just simply don't have time for that kind of stuff. But I will say it provides the necessary context that we need. And when that context is removed, it just feels like something's missing. So that's really my 2 cents. I've dwelled on it enough. Give me your thoughts on this real quick before we dive into the more fun stuff here.
I mean, I'm honestly on the same page because once
Yeah.
I first found out that they were getting rid of feeds this season, I was just very confused. Like,
Yeah.
BB Can was like the last show I expected to do this.
Yeah, I thought there
Um,
was like some kind of like misinterpreting of the tweet or something like that, but no, it literally says like verbatim, because of mental health, we are getting rid of feeds. Like, what?
yeah, because like everyone always said, I prefer BB Can over BBUS. Just based on like casting and things. But right, are you frozen?
No.
Uh-oh. Oh, I thought you were frozen because you were like solid for like a second. Few seconds.
Oh, that's weird.
Yep, you're frozen again.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
All right, so But yeah, like I was saying,
Probably because I opened another tab.
oh, no worries. Anyway, like I was saying, it just really sucks because live feeds are obviously
Yeah.
24 hours, they're ongoing. I mean, kind of like what I mean, I kind of agree with what Melissa on RHAP said. Like, just don't show people sleeping, but everything else show. Because
Yeah.
obviously we don't want to.
We don't
We
need
don't
to
want
see
to watch.
that. That's like
We don't want to watch people sleep. Because I
no.
started watching that draft as well a bit ago. I didn't finish it, but just from what she said, I kind of agree with her on that in that aspect. Like, why wouldn't they just keep beats? They were a very important part of Big Brother, and everybody loves them. I personally don't watch them all the time just because I am really busy with work or other things, but I do try and watch as much as I can.
For me, the only season,
I only watch, like, obviously I watch them here and there, but I can't watch them every day because I am so busy. But I always like keep track of the Twitter because I always like to read updates and make sure people are just being nice and not problematic, that kind of thing. And go ahead.
You always hope, but there's always a few bad apples in the bunch, you would say. But what I was gonna say was the only season I regularly was checking it on feeds was actually the first time I had it, which was Big Brother 18.
Okay.
Other than that, I just never felt the need to constantly just check back in, every so often I will just to see what's going on. Or if I read on Twitter, oh my God, there's a fight happening or something like that. Then I'll jump on the feeds and see what the hell is going on. And most of the time when I jump on, it's after the drama has happened. So I'm like, what was everyone talking about?
Right.
But again, think about what happens when that gets removed, and suddenly Big Brother is just not nearly as interesting to discuss.
Yeah, because I still want to watch the season just because it is Big Brother Canada, and spoiler alert, I did apply, but obviously I wasn't cast. But I applied very late too. I just wanted to at least try.
You didn't hear? You're the secret 17th house guest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing this interview in my sequestered room.
Even though it looks exactly like your room, they just wanted to.
Oh yeah, they made it exactly like it. No, but yeah, it would have been cool just because it was the very first time I applied for the show, but obviously I got nothing back. But hopefully one day, be so much fun. It would just be a dream. Yes. But with this digital dailies, I hope it's better than we expect. But I just really hope they'll at least bring back feeds next season because it's definitely going to lose a lot of viewers. But I mean, who knows? People on Twitter, once they saw the cast, they kind of changed their minds. So just really hoping they bring back feeds next time.
That I really just hope this is we tried it and it didn't work, and now we're
try it for one season and then cut it after.
Yeah,
but
I'm honestly surprised.
I'm just hoping it's not awful.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised they haven't changed their tune, because the one thing I will say about BB Can compared to BBUS is that they listen. They've listened a multitude of times. If you remember in BB Can 9, there was, I forgot what the guy's name was, but turned out to be this really problematic guy, said a bunch of racial things and bullied people and things like that. And then they brought Kyle in and he wasn't nearly as bad. And so that was one thing. And then last season when they did the what was that comp? The pressure cooker or something, I think it was called. But when they all had to press the buttons and Summer's button wasn't working and everybody was pulling it out. And what did they do? They changed the comp. That's another thing where it's if something like that were to happen and nobody was saying anything, would they have changed the comp?
Yeah.
That's another thing that we should probably be able to see, because if something like that happens, people need to call it out. And if there's nobody there to call it out, they don't know there's anything wrong. So
exactly.
that's another thing that
we definitely want to see that stuff, because then we can actually get like a real genuine connection with these people, and then also because we want those genuine connections with them, but we also want like real stuff. We don't want anything fake.
Yeah, I'm hoping the digital dailies will still be like, if you want to see the rest of this comp, watch the digital dailies, and not, after this comp, watch the digital dailies. Because again, it's an edited compilation of footage. It's not like exactly what happened. There are things they could easily edit out. So it's just going to be very hard to talk about this season and not think about what we're not seeing. But with that being said, I'm going to.
But I will also say, bear with me. I'm just getting over a cold.
Yes, me as well. But I'm going to try to focus on the good things about the season, which is, for the most part, does seem like, and I hope, we have a pretty good cast here. I know that it's taken a while for us to get into it, but we had to address the elephant in the room, because again, I feel like it's hard to talk about this season and not address that, just based on things that were announced. But with that said, we are going to get into what you guys are excited about, and that is the cast for this season. We're going to do a little cast assessment. Actually took a fair amount of notes based on their intros, but also we haven't had the past few seasons, the interviews they did with Jed. I took notes about that as well, and that kind of plays a part in how we feel about these people overall. It's going to be like we usually do. I'll say one person, then you'll say one person, and so on and so forth. And then
I will say, going into them, before we actually like say our thoughts, I don't really dislike anybody. There's only a couple I'm kind of iffy with, but overall, I don't really dislike anybody.
For me, I'm a little bit more mixed with this cast. There are people I like, and then there's some people that I'm just kind of iffy with, and then some people I really don't like at all. But we will get into it. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the first person here, who I'm going to talk about. Let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. There we go. Okay. So normally we're doing this off like Entertainment Weekly or something like that, but this time all we have is US Weekly. So we're going ahead and basing it off of that. Can you see my screen? Oh, there we go. Okay. So first person we're talking about here is Amal. She is 28. She uses she, her pronouns, and she resides in Toronto, Ontario. Her occupation is that she is a super fan, and the description says that she has a big personality and an even bigger heart, staying focused on the grand prize. She plans to outwit her housemates and stay true to herself. If we want to get more into some notes here, she says that she doesn't really care for the muscular types, and honestly speaking, she doesn't want to be in an alliance. She has a Somalian Canadian family, which is very important to her, and she wants to dominate and get her crown. And then speaking about her Jed interview, she's willing to be a comp beast if she needs to, but also implement a floater strategy if she has to. She recognize the game is very adaptable. She also doesn't want to build an alliance because she doesn't think her judge of character on first impressions isn't the best to go off of. I thought this was very interesting. That's not something we typically hear about. I'll get more into that when I give my overall thoughts, but she doesn't think she'll get along with people who tell her what to do or people who are mean. She wants to stand up for people and always wants to speak up for something that is wrong, but also has to recognize she can't always do that in this game because it can put a target on her back. She isn't looking for a showmance, but isn't ruling it out either. But also, if she doesn't make a connection with someone, she will tell them to kick rocks. But the bottom line is, if she wants to be a good person and hopes everyone will follow suit. So my description of Amal is I really like her a lot. I think that she definitely seems like she's going to be a really big personality. She definitely seems like she's going to be someone who's very upfront. She's going to make it very clear how she feels about someone, but she also seems very like good-natured and fun and things like that. And the thing that really strikes me about her that I think is very interesting is her talking about wanting to build an alliance, but she did thankfully say that if she was presented one, she obviously would say yes to it. You should never say no to an alliance. And I'm glad that she did say that. So I like that she has that. I like that she says that she's like very adaptable. I think that she has a really good mind for the game. My fear is that she is going to be way too upfront, and people are going to be very thrown off by that, and it's going to get her targeted pretty early as a result. I think she's going to be someone who does clash with quite a few people. I think there are going to be people who are on her side because I think she does seem very personable in that way, but I think there are going to be some people who are a little bit more reserved, and they're just not really going to vibe with how upfront she is about things, especially if, again, she doesn't get it, because she says, like, if I don't really get along with you, I will make that known and things like that. So I do worry for her that that definitely is going to bite her in the ass. But I think the thing that's going to help her again is how sociable she really is. She seems like she's an easy person to talk to, and it seems like she'll be able to get people on her side. But because of that, I see her being like an early jury. Like, that's where I see her going right now. If I really had to predict, I think she is making jury, but I see her going in like the beginning of jury. Like, maybe if they do like a double or something, like the first round of jury, I kind of see her going there. Kind of gives me the vibes of like kind of like a Victoria almost, where it's like she's very upfront, and because of that, people are very threatened by her. But I do think that, unlike Victoria, who, looking back, not a very good player, if I'm being honest, really not a very good player.
That's true.
Loved her as a person.
Love her.
Did not really play the game that well. I do think Annika has the potential to play a better game because she understands the adaptability aspect. You cannot go into the game and say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and I'm going to make sure it happens, because sometimes you're just not going to get your way. And Amal recognizes that. And I think it's spoiling the next person already. Oh my God. I think
also, I thought her name was Annika at first too.
That's because of this thing is there we go. Amal, I think is going to implement that very nicely. So I do have pretty high hopes for her. I just, again, have a little bit of a worry that she is going to be a little bit too upfront in that way, and that is going to hurt her. But what do you think about Amal overall?
I really like her. I enjoy her. Yeah. Like, she seems just very fun and just very like positive and upbeat, and she definitely does seem very blunt, very upfront. So that's definitely going to be her downfall.
Yeah.
I kind of see her going like, I mean, I definitely could see the Victoria vibe where she's like first juror, because she's like playing too hard and all that, and just being too blunt, which could like rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I also see her being like a last pre-jury. I don't see her being first boot.
No. I don't see her. No, I definitely see her making at least jury.
Yeah, I feel like she's getting like last pre-juror or first juror. Yeah. Just like, I mean, obviously she's cool. Like, I love to see her do well, but she really has to just like find that person or people that really like vibe with her and like mesh with her personality. Because like some people might mesh with her, some people might clash. So she's definitely like seems amazing, but also she's very hit or miss game wise. So yeah, first juror or last pre-juror for me for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is Amal. We're going to pivot over to someone that I know you're really excited to talk about. And I am being serious. I'm not being my sarcastic, snarky self here when I say this. Let's talk about Anika.
Yeah, I was actually very excited once I like found out about her. She is Anika. She's 28. Her pronouns are she, her, and she's from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. She's an investment advisor, and typically the loudest person in the room. Anika is a force to be reckoned with. Her strategy is to win people over by building tight bonds and playing a fair game, but be careful she isn't afraid to stir the pot. And more about her would be, she's very loud, spontaneous. When people meet her, they see her as arrogant or having an RBF. She's very close with her mom. She loves Indian dancing and always like being on stage or the center of attention. And she always wakes up early and has a strong routine. She's only seen one season, but thinks she'll be fine. In her Jen interview, she says she's coming in pretty fresh and is excited to meet new people, but also competitive. She's only seen BB Can 6 prior to this, which is a great season.
I've heard. I need to watch that one.
Oh, yeah.
I have seen the finale, though. It's great stuff.
All the women, so good.
She wants to... one of them, not so much.
Which one?
The one that's... I forgot what her name was, but it's the one that, like... It's the one that goes down like a fire when Kayla's like, I respect you a lot. Apparently she's, like, problematic.
Huh?
I don't remember her name.
Oh, I'm trying to remember her name.
Erica, that's who that is. Yeah.
Oh, Erica's great.
I've heard she said some things.
Oh, everyone loved Erica.
Yeah, but not now.
I guess. Oh, I never read any of that. I need to go look into that.
Yeah.
But anyway, she wants to play a fair game, but also thinks she needs to make people trust her, but also be competitive. She also knows she has to be mindful and not be her usual crazy self. And then in terms of alliances, she wants to make a nice group of people because she thinks you need those to make it further. Even a possible showmance if it happens. She tends to gel with most people who are genuinely lively and fun, but not anyone who has some kind of attitude. She hates being in a dirty place and wants to keep things clean, which is great. Love that.
Something we hear a lot from like most of these people. So I don't think
being organized. Listen, being organized is important.
This is a very cleanly cast in terms of like pet peeves.
We love that.
Oh, yeah.
She says she will miss her family and being away from her phone because of how active she is on social media. She doesn't think anyone would describe her as nice, but not necessarily backstab, but she knows if it comes down to it, she will have to. And she's ready to be in front of a camera because she usually is. All right.
So you give your thoughts first, and then I'll say how I feel, even though you know how I feel because it says it on the doc.
All right. I really love her. She's definitely someone I could see making it like super far. I don't see her winning as of right now. I see her getting to like, I could see her being kind of like third. But I mean, I can see that like her lack of BB knowledge could hurt her, but like it could also help her too because there are people who aren't like super fans out of this cast. Like there's people who are just like they've seen a few seasons or just like a couple, and but they still like know stuff and like the knowledge. So I mean, like I definitely think it could hurt her, but in some way, but it could also help. Just like maybe she'll talk about seasons with other people. Who knows? Depending on who she works with. But if she makes it far, I could see her just working with the girls. I don't see her getting into a showmance. Maybe like flirt to her advantage, but not but not showmance wise. No. And she just seems really fun. She's very like obviously very loud and stuff. So I mean, it could rub some people the wrong way because some people are more quiet and reserved, but like I do think she'll vibe with people. As of right now, I could see her getting like third. So either actually third or like early jury, like a third or fourth juror maybe. But I really like her and I cannot wait to see her play because she seems really fun.
So I am of two minds when it comes to Anika, and it's going to sound contradictory, and you'll see why. My one thought is that I think that she seems like she's going to be one of the most laid back house guests of the entire season. I think she's going to be someone that people just kind of see as she's just very chill and things like that. And I think that's really going to work to her advantage. And I think that's going to take her very far into the game because of it. I see her being somebody that everybody trusts in the game because they know that she's not necessarily going to be somebody that is, going to betray them, that's going to backstab, that's going to be this like louder personality. She is going to be much more just very laid back in that way. And I think that's really going to help her out. I think she's going to be very personable. I think she's going to be very sociable. And I think that's going to take her far. And I think that's really going to help her. And I also think the fact that she doesn't have a lot of knowledge in the game also helps her a lot, because she comes in not really having a huge game plan of what she really wants to do. And I think because of that, she can kind of just play how she wants. And I think that's really going to help her out. She's not going to over strategize and things like that. And so I do see Anika making it very far. What's contradictory is me saying I think the fact that she doesn't have a lot of knowledge about the game could potentially hinder her, because this does seem like a cast that knows a lot about the game.
It could either hurt or help her.
Yeah, so at first when she said that, I was like, oh, this is not going to go well for her. But then let's think about Taylor, who last season didn't watch a lot of BBUS at all, was actually a recruit, if you remember. She was initially a recruit, and ended up winning the whole fucking season because of just how great she was socially and strategically. And also how she had an amazing like underdog story. And I think honestly, watching the seasons don't really matter that much anymore. I think, yes, it helps for sure having knowledge of the game, but I think if you go in and you're more chill and, you know, you don't come in as this, you know, as you're not, especially if there's bigger personalities in the house, which there are some really big personalities on this cast. I do think that's going to bode really well for Anika. Not to say that she's not a big personality, but I think compared to some of the other people, I think that's something that's going to end up really well for her. So yeah, I actually do see her making it quite far. I think she's going to do really well, especially socially. And I do definitely have pretty high hopes for her. I see her right now at least making top 4. That's where I see Anika going. I think she is making it far in this game. I think she's at least making top 4. I don't know what happens to her after that. But for right now, I really like what I'm seeing from her. And she definitely is somebody that I'm pretty high on. So yeah, that's how I feel about Anika overall. Anything else you want to say about her before we move on to the next person?
Hopefully she kills this game, because she was honestly like one of the people I was really drawn to when I first saw the cast. So really hope so. Fingers crossed.
All right, so now we move on to our next person. This is sticking with the girls here. We have Claudia Campbell. She's 25. She uses she, her pronouns. Her hometown is Kensington, PEI. She is a marketing coordinator, and in the about, it says representing PEI to the fullest. Claudia is a great example of good things that come in small packages, but don't underestimate her strength, as she plans to dominate in competitions and bring a strong social game. Getting to more of her intro and interview, that's kind of all we really get with Claudia here. In terms of like, you know, what we need to know. They talk about here how she's from, you know, Kensington PI. She loves being with her family and niece and nephew. She's only 5 feet, but she's been dancing and cheerleading since she was 8 years old. So she's probably going to be a really big contest on the season. At least she sees herself as one.
Honestly, I will say, I feel like with that, like people are just going to think she's just like adorable because she is tiny.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit. She also is one of the many she is also one of the many people on this cast that really wants a female alliance to happen, but she could also be thrown off by someone who is tall, dark, and handsome. And in her interview, she says she's always watched the show growing up, but has recently taken a few seasons off. She doesn't want to reveal too much, but sees herself as a people person and plans to bring it in the competitions. She's into alliances because she sees herself as a people person and easygoing. She's willing to backstab and cheat if necessary. My thoughts on her, though, if I'm being honest, I've honestly found her really boring. She just didn't really bring that much to the table for me. And that could be a good thing. There are people that I've gone into saying this person seems really boring to me and that I don't really
like. Last season's winner.
Oh yeah, that's a good example, actually. I thought Kevin was gonna be like first boot, and he completely surprised me. So there always is potential that we could be assessing these people completely wrong, but of course, this is just based on first impressions. When it comes to Claudia, though, I just didn't really see that much in her. It didn't really feel like she had that much of a game plan going in of what she really wanted to do in this game and things like that. I didn't really get the sense that she had a clear idea of like what of what she wanted to do. All she really talks about is, oh, I'm a people person. I'm going to go really far. I'm going to be this comp beast. But to me, I just feel like she's going to get eaten alive. Like, I see her being a very potentially early boot in this season just because she's going to be just like somebody that nobody really has like as their number one, and she's going to be very easy to go. Now, I don't think she'll be an initial target. I see her being like a backdoor target where it's like they have somebody in mind and then that person wins veto, and then Claudia goes up and she ends up going, kind of like what happened to Stephanie last season. Like, I kind of see that happening to her. But if I'm being honest, that's really all I have in terms of Claudia. I just don't really see her going very far in this game. She could be a potential comp beast and she could be winning a lot of comps, but other than that, I also see her probably getting into a showmance. I think she is going to be one of those people that could potentially get into one, because she did say that she could very well get distracted, and she just kind of seems like the type that is cast in this show to get into a showmance. So I'm not really sure. I don't know. I just don't have very high hopes for her at all. Most of her interview consisted of her just like giggling and like just saying, oh, she's a people person. And I need more than that. I need more of an idea of how you're going to play. And I just didn't get that from Claudia. I got the sense that she's kind of just here to vibe and have fun, and that's fine. But like, I just didn't really give me much to work with. So overall, yeah, I don't see her getting very far. I think she's probably honestly going to be one of the first 3 people voted out. And yeah, that's where I'm at. So yeah, not really looking great for her. I know you liked her a little bit more. So what do you think?
I mean, she wasn't my favorite, but I definitely didn't hate her. I think she was cute. Like her interview and her
I mean, she seems like a nice person.
And her intro were cute. They were sweet. And just like she just seems like a fun, bubbly person. Yeah, I definitely wanted to see hear a little more about her game, but I can see her being likable, like at least socially and stuff. But with her, I've actually gotten like first juror vibes from her.
Really? Okay.
Like, I don't see her going pre-jury as of right now. I see her going, like first juror, because she could be an easy first juror kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or maybe like a backdoor first juror, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, she's not the initial target, but she goes up as a replacement that just leaves.
Yeah, she seems like meant to be a pawn, and then is like something goes horribly wrong, and then she goes. That's where she.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really see her getting into a showmance. I just see her getting maybe flirting, but not. Excuse me, but not actually like showmancing. But I do think people will think, like I said, I feel like people will think she's just really cute because she's so short and adorable. So yeah, I could see her dominating comps for sure because she is athletic, and also because she is very small. But yeah, I get social and physical vibes from her. Strategic is hard to say, but yeah,
didn't really.
As of right now, I don't. I mean, I want to see her do well because she seems sweet. But right now, I see her being for sure.
Yeah, so I think that's all we really have to say about Claudia. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to our next person?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
All right. Well, let's move on to someone that I think we were very excited to see on this cast. Somebody that we actually know, not like super well, but we know of him. He was in like Community with us for a while, and we're very excited to see him on the cast. Talk a little bit about
so cool. All right, this is Daniel Clark. He is 33. His pronouns are he, him. He's from Toronto, Ontario. He's a graphic designer. This loud and proud superfan plans to play between alliances to help further his game, although he can't keep a secret to himself and loves to gossip. Daniel will use his cheerful outlook and fierce determination to bring home the big win.
Yes.
And more about him. He didn't apply for 11 years to play safe. He is coming into that house with 100% and wants to come in to be a legend. Yes. And in his interview, he is so proud to finally get through the casting process. He is planning to come into the game wanting to do it all and be a triple threat. His strongest point, he thinks, will be his social game and that he will hide his more strategic side. He wants to find a way to work with everyone and do whatever he can to work with both sides. And he wants to work with a showmance, but will also target one. But wants to keep it quiet if he ends up in one and won't say no if it happens. He is unwilling to lie, but despite it being tough, he will still do it if possible. He won't be the one backstabbing, but will point them in the direction of it. And he thinks he'll work well with loud personalities, but will vibe well with quieter ones. He wants to come into the house and make a big splash. All right. I definitely see winner vibes from him. And I kind of see him like vibing with Anika because they both are very loud personalities.
Anika, and there's one other person especially I see him vibing with. We'll talk about a bit later.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like all the loud people for sure. Like him and Anika would be kind of iconic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see him either winning or getting like at least really far, like a fourth, or third. But he's like very smart. He's strategic. He's definitely going to be likable and social. And I can see him doing pretty well in comps, but I don't see him winning them. Excuse me. I don't see him winning comps right away though, because he'll probably just try and keep the target off his back early on. But
yeah,
once it gets later, I feel like he'll start winning comps. So I can definitely see him being a triple threat. And it's just really cool. Like someone in the same community as us is going on the show. And like obviously we don't know him that well, but it's still really cool.
Yeah, Daniel played quite a few minis that we were involved in. I don't think I think you played with him. I don't think I ever ended up in a mini with him.
I don't remember which game.
He was in Slumber Party, the Slumber Party mini.
Yeah, and wasn't he in Canada?
I believe so. You'd have to look at. Yes, he was.
But yeah, I definitely have like really high hopes for him. He has a lot of potential. He's like very fun, very outspoken, and it's just gonna be so cool. Like seeing him adapt to the game, and he's definitely gonna be really great.
Yeah, the thing with Daniel is that I think he knows this game well enough to know what not to do. He knows that you can't win comps right off the bat. He knows that while there's a lot that he wants to get done, he needs to kind of wait and like sit back and let things happen. And I think that's what's going to work well to his advantage, is that he's going to be someone who is so well socially aligned in the first couple weeks that he'll be able to get done what he wants to get done. I especially liked it when he said, I'm not going to be the one doing the stabbing. I'm going to point them in the direction of the stabbing, because I think that is a more effective strategy than just cutting someone right then and there. You know, you got to do what you can to get them to that stabbing. You can't just make the stabbing happen. If you want to point someone in the direction of you got to cut them, you got to do something to implement that cutting. And I think he knows what to do in order to perfect that. And obviously, you know, the risk when you have somebody that's played a lot of orgs or minis is that they're going to come into the game and they're going to try to play the game like it is a mini or an org. And that's really going to, you know, hurt them. And they're going to play real, you know, too hard, too fast. But I honestly don't get that from Daniel. I think Daniel knows what to do going into this game. He has some really great ideas of how to play. I like that he talks about showmances. He says, you know, I'll try to work with one, but I also am going to target them. You know, it seems like he has a lot of ideas of what he wants to do here. You know, he says that he wants to try to work with both sides of the house. So I think
it's like very smart of him.
Yeah, he's going to be very adaptable in this game. He has many different facets that I think we're going to see throughout the game. And I think he just, his love for the game and like what he wants to do, it's just so infectious to watch. His energy as well. You just feel every second of it. And because of that, like he honestly might be my winner pick going into the season. Even if I didn't know who Daniel was before this, I think I'd still feel the same way. I think he has that winner type energy to me where it's like he has a goal. And I think as long as he takes the steps that he needs to, he could honestly win this entire thing. The other thing we should mention about Daniel that I think is very interesting, and look, this is a mini. Keep in mind, this is a mini, but this is something he was able to do. So he played one of the minis, as Dennis. And people thought that he had this twin that we didn't know of, that Dennis was like his twin and things like that. Spent the whole mini saying, no, I'm Daniel's twin. I'm Dennis. I'm not Daniel. I've never played this game before. I don't know what I'm doing. Only to find out that was a load of shit, and it actually was Daniel the entire time, and fooled basically everybody into believing that he actually had this twin that we had never seen before.
That's very impressive.
The way that he was able to do that, and look, obviously, yes, that's a small thing, but it's no easy feat. Like, if I was to go in and say I had a twin named like Thevin or something like that, I don't think you guys would believe me. Or I had a twin, not Thevin, Keith. I had a twin named Keith. Keith
Thevin?
I don't know. I was trying to think of a name. I had a twin named Keith. I don't think you guys would believe me because I'm not a good liar. And I don't think I'd be able to keep up the charade. The fact that he was able to keep up that charade as long as he could really does make me feel like he knows what to do in terms of the backstabbing, in terms of the lying. He knows how to play this game. And I think because of that, Daniel is going to get very far, potentially win. I can honestly say out of all the interviews, his was the one that impressed me the most. I just really liked what we got to see from him, and I'm just really hoping he's able to make it far. So yeah, I really just loved everything we got to see from Daniel, and I really hope that this is his game. So he honestly might be my winner pick. And anything else you want to say about Daniel before we move on?
Just so excited to see him kill it because he's definitely gonna do amazing.
No, yeah. All right, so that is Daniel. Let's go on and talk about Dan. Not Daniel, Dan. He is, which is not confusing at all. He is, Survivor. We have a Mike, and what is it? We have a Matthew and a Matt.
Yep.
In BB Can, we have a Daniel and a Dan. So
funny.
That's not confusing at all. But no, in all seriousness, Dan is 28. His pronouns are he, him. His hometown is Niagara Falls, Ontario. He's a DJ, and it says, with a carefree attitude and good looks to match, he plans to charm everyone in the BB Can 11 house. His strategy involves being part of a large alliance that allows him to make big moves without getting dirt on his hands. And some other things to know about him is that he produces this electronic music under an alias known as Zabo, and he loves conveying the energy in the room. He loved music from his dad, who was in a rock band, and it has stemmed from there. He's not looking for a showmance, but who's to say that it wouldn't happen? He likes to take ice baths regularly to push himself, and he thinks BB Can is the best way to do it. He likes to take
I'm just going to say, with the ice bath, it gives me like org scavenger hunt vibes.
Oh yeah, that was like, yeah, honestly, I thought like a cold shower or something. Yeah, that's what I thought of too.
Right.
Tell me you've played too many orgs without saying you've played too many orgs. But anyway, he has only seen a couple seasons beforehand. This is what he talks about in his Jet interview, but ever since has wanted to apply and is a fan for life since watching BB Can 9. He wants to lay low for the first few weeks, let the loud people turn on and eliminate each other, and then turn it on after that. He also wants to find a close ally, form several alliances to get himself further. He thinks he's going to vibe well with people who are chill, but doesn't vibe well with people who are selfish and full of themselves. Wants to come in and leave single to get as little eyes on him as possible. And while he considers himself as a nice guy, he knows he will have to backstab people if necessary. And he's another guy who talks about how he wants to keep things nice and tidy. He doesn't like a messy house. And I don't think that's going to be an issue in this house.
Right.
So Dan.
Why do I feel like everyone at some point are just going to be cleaning on just be cleaning and talking strategy, be like, hey, let's vacuum.
Yeah, they'll all just that's how they're gonna bond. Like sometimes, how they'll do raps or songs or something like that. They'll just have a cleaning session and they'll just vibe through that.
That'd be so funny.
That'll just be their relaxation is just cleaning the house.
Right.
But no, in all seriousness, when his intro started, I wasn't really sure about him. I was like, I don't really know how this guy is going to fit in. But I will say I really like some of the things he said in his interview, specifically when he talks about a showmance and how he knows that if you get into a showman, suddenly you are the biggest target in the house, because when there is a, known duo like that, especially if you are winning comps a lot and, you're seemingly unstoppable, people see you as a big threat. And so I think the idea that he's going to push against that as much as possible, not even wanting to entertain one, I think is really good for Dan. He knows that like getting into a showmance is not good for me. And I think he has a really good mind for the game. And because of that, I honestly kind of see him as maybe the dark horse of this cast. I think he's going to be someone that people just aren't going to be looking at. And I think that's actually going to take him quite far. I don't know how far. But I do actually see him doing really well. I think that he is very low key, and there's a lot of low key. There are some low key people on this cast.
Oh yeah.
Specifically guys. But if I'm being honest, I think Dan is the best of the like low key people that we see. I think he has the best strategy. I think he has the best idea of what to do. And because of that, I think he is actually going to go pretty far. I don't know how far, but I think if he plays the way he says he's going to, just kind of like just kind of like sit back, let the bigger people go after each other, bigger personalities go after each other and things like that. And then he strikes when he feels he needs to. I think he actually could get very far in this game. So yeah, someone I was kind of iffy about, but by the end I was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of impressed, and I have a little bit more hope for him than I initially thought. So yeah, I hope he does well. What do you think about Dan?
All right. So I was like, he was like a big question mark for me when I first saw his intro. Like I didn't really know how to feel, but then once I watched his interview, like since we watched those all just a bit ago before this, his interview changed me.
Before this.
Yeah, his interview changed me because I'm like, okay, I actually like this guy. And I'm kind of agreeing that he really could be the dark horse. Like I don't see him winning, but I see him getting like I can see him getting like a 6th place. I think so too. But yeah, like he seems like have a really great mindset for this game, and he like seems very strategic and knows how to adapt, especially with the showmance thing. So like I don't see him getting into a showmance, but maybe like flirt a little bit, which is fine. Like I just don't see him like actually working like that close, because obviously he doesn't want to make that showmance target on himself. But I mean, flirting's fine. Like I'm sure that will happen.
Oh, I think this is going to be a very flirty cast.
Because the majority of them are single, yeah.
Yeah, most likely, yes. I think we're going to see a lot of flirting in the house. I don't think we're going to see a lot of showmances, but I do think we're going to see a lot of flirting.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, he seems like, I could see him definitely being a very good strategist. And I could see him doing well in comps when he needs to. But yeah, I actually kind of like this guy. He's like very humble, and like the music thing is exciting. Once he showed his dad too in his intro, I'm like, he kind of looked like an 80s rocker.
Yeah. Seems like a king, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, I honestly like really enjoy him, so I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, so I think we've said all we needed to about Dan. Let's move on to the next person. We have Hope. Ellie, talk a little bit about Hope.
All right. Hope is 23. His pronouns are he, him. He's from Milton, Ontario. And he's a skills coach. It's always good vibes when Hope steps into a room. His mega wit smile and captivating energy will draw the house guests in without a doubt. He's calm, cool, and collected when he needs to be, but when it's showtime, he plans to turn into a comp beast. And more about him. He's goofy, charismatic, energetic, big ball of energy. He moved from Ghana a couple years ago, and when he first saw snow in Canada, he was blown away. He loves playing basketball, and he started his own company, and when he was 16 years old, he went back to Africa. He noticed the kids had no courts or basketballs, and since they have made 8 basketball courts, courtesy of Project Hope, he loves basic training and thinks he will be a beast at physical comps. He thinks his personality will also help him get into as many lines as possible. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. In his interview, sorry, I was reading the wrong thing. Oh. He's a recent fan of the show. He wants to come in and adapt to whatever the situation is. He has a lovely girlfriend, so will not be getting into a showmance anywhere, and he doesn't have any set plan beyond that, it seems. Okay. I really do love his story, because it's just very touching, very emotional, and just, like, very important. I don't dislike him, but, like, I obviously see him doing well in comps, but I kind of get, like, pre-jury vibes from him. I don't see him being first boot. I kind of see him being, like, maybe the first HOH, but then, like, he leaves the next round or like, round 2 or 3. Because, like, after, like, winning the first HOH, I can see people just going for him because he's strong and they just want to get out a big threat. Like, he seems very nice, very genuine. It's just, I don't know. I just don't see him going that far. Like, his interview was definitely a little bit better than his intro. But like what you said here, it showed a bit more promise, but, like, I hope he does well. It's just, as of right now, I just don't have high hopes for him, sadly.
Yeah, I did not like him at all in his intro. I thought he was honestly kind of annoying. I liked his story, but other than that, I was like,
same.
Something about this guy just seems like he's gonna be like annoying. His interview was just kind of nothing. Like, every answer he said the same thing. He's like, I will adapt. Like, you're gonna get into a showmance, I will adapt. Are you gonna make any alliances? I will adapt. So very obviously he's going to be a very adaptable player. The problem is he doesn't seem to have any, like, real sense of strategy beyond that. Like, an idea of what he's going to do. And so I kind of see this guy being someone who is going to latch onto somebody else in the game, and that's going to be his entire story. I think he is going to be that kind of person where it's like, there's going to be some kind of alliance and he's going to be loyal to it. And that's kind of it. Like, that's where I see Hope going. I hope oh my God, pun not intended. I hope that is not the case and that he does end up showing a bit more promise. But right now I see him being someone who he gets into some kind of group, and there's somebody who's, like, very, like, close to the alliance and will do anything for the alliance and will make sure that, you know, they're on his side. And then once we get to jury and he's got to turn on his alliance, he's not going to know what to do because he was too focused on his alliance and not focused on other relationships outside of it. And I think that is going to hurt him. Yes, he is very laid back and things like that, but I feel like he's just going to be someone who, like, people have conversations with, and he's going to be like, all right, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to, you know, win this veto or things like that? Like, we've seen players like that in Big Brother a lot of the time, where it's like, this person is only here to latch onto their alliance. That's why this person's here. That's all they're really here to do. And that's exactly where I see him going. I just don't see him doing much of anything else this season. I really do hope that's not the case. But right now, I just really didn't get that much from him. Kind of like Claudia in that sense, where another person I just didn't get that much from. I hope he surprises me, but right now wasn't really feeling it. So yeah, that's anything else you want to say about Hope?
I mean, hopefully he surprises us, but yeah, as of right now, I see him being like a second or third boot after winning, like, the first HOH.
Oh, I don't think he's going to be the second or third boot. I think what's going to happen is he'll be like the second or third boot in jury. Like, I think he'll get alliance
maybe
drawn in that alliance.
Maybe.
But then, like,
unless the alliance is early on, but then somebody else catches them and then it's broken.
Yeah, BB can tend to be pretty fluid with their alliances, which we like. So
yeah, we'll see.
Especially lately. It's been kind of cracked.
So. Oh yeah, we'll see.
We also admittedly have had some really bad players in BB Can, so maybe that's going to carry over here.
Yeah, some of them for sure.
So yeah, I think that's all we need to say about Hope. Let's go ahead, sticking with the just really chill, laid back guys, and talk about Jonathan. He is 33 years old. His pronouns are he, him. He resides in Paradise, Newfoundland. He is a fisherman, and he loves to talk about being a fisherman. It has taught this small town Newfoundlander patience, which he will need to bring home the biggest catch of the year, the title of BB Can 11 winner. Other things to know about him is that family is very important, including his wife and his son. Fishing's a big part of his family, as I said, and being a fisherman requires him to be tough. He lost his parents recently in a very short amount of time, and it made him realize how quickly things can pass by, and that is his time to get out and experience things he's always wanted to. He says in his interview that he's wanted to play for a long time. He has studied the game for a while, and he's been a big fan of the competitive nature, but also the family-oriented nature. He wants to be both a competition beast, but also a strategic player. He wants to build an alliance to help him get the numbers. He will not hesitate to approach ruthless. He vibes with outgoing people. He also doesn't seem to like obnoxious people at all. You want my overall thoughts? I will tell you, I literally wrote sleeping Z's because I didn't get fucking anything out of this guy. He seems so boring to me. He's so reserved and he's so laid back that I just feel like he's going to get eaten alive. Like, he's not going to have any real agency in this game. He's going to sit there and he's going to be very chill. I didn't get any sense of what he's actually willing to do. A lot of it was just kind of like, yeah, I'll be ruthless if you need me to. Yeah, I'm very outgoing. Listen, if the game requires it, I'll do it. Like, I just don't get the sense that, like, this guy is going to be this, like, really ruthless, like, big player that everyone really fears. No, I think this guy is going to get eaten alive because he's going to be so just, like, chill and laid back. And I can't stand him. He puts me to sleep. Like, I could not stand his interview at all. I hope that things turn around and maybe he's better in the game. But right now, I really, like, out of the people we went through, there are people I dislike more. For me, his interview was the hardest to get through. I nearly fell asleep watching him. He gave me absolutely nothing. What do you think of Jonathan?
Okay, I will start off. His story is very emotional, like with losing his parents, and like it's nice that he has like he loves his wife and son a lot, and like
that's
and like of course like the family history of fishing. Love that. I just think his intro and his interviews were so boring. Like I agree, he gave him nothing.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's honestly with him, he gives me Kyle from BB Can 9 vibes.
Yeah.
Like nice guy, but boring as hell.
Yeah, it gives absolutely nothing.
So I feel like he's gonna
unless your name is Sarah and you're trying to save him.
Yes, he'll probably like I could see him like kind of getting into a bromance, just like Kyle and Rohan.
Oh yeah.
Like I could see that bromance happening, but I also see them being like targeted. I can see him going when Kyle did. What was Kyle third? What was Kyle third boot?
Maybe him and Hope will team up because they're both just like really chill guys that give nothing.
That would be funny. Wait, when did Kyle leave? Was it third boot?
Fourth boot.
Oh, fourth. So yeah, I can see him being like.
Kyle was fourth boot.
Yeah, honestly, like with him, I see him either being fourth boot or like first boot. Because he could be a first boot for me, but I also see him being
I could see that too, honestly.
But I definitely think I could see him maybe getting one little bromance, but very boring. I could see him being targeted early. Nice guy, very reserved, but I just don't see him making it that far.
No,
but we'll see.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all we need to say about Jonathan. Let's go ahead and move on to the next person who I actually am very excited to talk about. Aly, talk a little bit about John Michael, or as he likes to be referred to, JM.
All right. John Michael is 28. His pronouns are he, him. He's from Bradford, Ontario. He's a project manager. He's bright, extroverted, and happy-go-lucky guy. While appearing unthreatening, he will mask his competitive nature behind a colorful charm to deceive all the house guests and to take himself to the end. All right, and then more about him. His signature color is yellow because it represents his bright presence. He sees himself as a firecracker and will say whatever is on his mind and thinks his problem will be keeping quiet because he loves to talk shit. He has watched every episode with his parents religiously and is doing this for them as much as he is for himself. He has done extensive research on which competitions to win and throw he wants to dominate and make big moves. In his interview, he is shocked to actually be doing an interview with Jed. He wants to win the comps, but also is learning it's all about adaptability, and he's willing to throw everything out the window talking to the house guests. And once the kumbaya stops, that's when he can focus on making moves. He wants to work with extroverts and also wants to adopt an introvert. he also doesn't like people who coast within the house. He's planning to come in acting like he doesn't know much, and he's also going to miss talking about things going on within the world. He says if he wins, the money will be he will be getting a cat. He also can't stand when people talk down to him and is used to it. And he's used to it because of the corporate world he lives in, and it will bring out the worst in him if it happens. All right. I love him. He was so good. Like, he's just so fun. And his energy is so infectious, and like he just seems so nice, but also very like blunt, but like in the fun way. Honestly, I see him teaming up with like Daniel and Anika.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's
that would be
what I was gonna say.
That'd be so iconic, honestly, because they're all very extroverted. They're very loud and like very blunt people.
Yeah.
So I can see them like being at least like a group of 3. But maybe bring in someone else. Who knows? But yeah, I can see him like. He has potential to win, but he also can make it like really far. I think like he could. I either see him winning or getting like 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, any of that in between 1st and 5th. But I'm very excited to see him play because like he's very smart, but he also wants to downplay that so people don't see him as like a huge threat who knows the game very well. Like he'll probably act kind of like dumb in that sense.
Yeah.
Until he gets to like know people. Or only tell people he trusts. But I cannot wait to see him adapt.
I absolutely adore him. I think he's going to be so much fun to watch. Person I was alluding to before that I said, I feel like this is going to be Daniel's ride or die. I think it's him. These two are very similar. They know the game very well. They understand the adaptability component. They're both very like extroverted personalities. They're both going to be very sociable in that way. And they're going to try to kind of dial down their more like strategic self. I think if these two like get it, I think if these two are in a room together and they're able to have like a one-on-one, I see them actually working very well together because of that, because they have so many similarities. And I think that could actually take the both of them very far. On the other hand, I could also see them turning on each other for that exact same reason, because it's like, oh my God, he's exactly like me. I don't want somebody else like that in the house, so we got to go for them immediately. And I'm kind of here for that as well. Like, if they have a rivalry of sorts, I think that'd be very fun. But either way, I mean, everything about John Michael is what we get excited for in a BB Can cast. He is going to be so entertaining to watch. I already can tell. His interview was so much fun, but I also like a lot of the things he said, where he talks about how the first few weeks, things are supposed to be kind of kumbaya. You don't want to rock the boat. You kind of want to just be low key in that way. And then eventually you have to make those moves, and then he can kind of focus on that. And he talks about how like he wants to work with extroverts, but he's not unwilling to work with introverts. He's very flexible in that way. And I think that's something that actually is going to work very well for him. He doesn't want people to coast and things like that, because he knows if you coast in the house, you get all the way to the end because people don't see you as a threat. And because that, he's going to see them as more of a threat. He's going to kind of try to downplay some of his more like strategic abilities and things like that. Also, the fact that Jed asked him what he'd do with the money, and the first thing he said is, I really want a cat. I mean, might have been the funniest answer. I think was the funniest.
That was so funny. I love that.
I was dying when he said that. So yeah, I just absolutely adore him. I think he's going to be so much fun to watch. If I had to pick a couple people that are like, this is the person I think could potentially win the season, it's like Daniel and then John Michael. I think John Michael has so much potential in this game.
Oh yeah.
I love everything I'm seeing from him. I don't see him overplaying because, again, it seems like he knows what to do. And
I feel like he's definitely going to be very likable.
Yeah, I think he's going to rely on his like social game, and I think because of that, once we get to jury, that more strategic side comes out. People are not going to see it coming, and I think that's going to work out really well for him. So yeah, I absolutely love him. He's definitely one of the people I'm looking forward to watching the most this season, and I hope he does really well. So anything else you want to say about John Michael before we move on to the next person?
Oh my God, I still just can't get over the cat thing. Like,
oh, it was so
most
funny.
people are like, I want to help my family, or things like that. He's like, no, I want a cat.
He's like, I just really want a cat. I thought that was great.
So funny.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the person that everyone's kind of been raving about, and rightfully so. We have Kely. She is 29 years old. Pronouns are she, her. She resides in Victoria, BC. She is a 911 operator. And it says Kely is a master manipulator. She knows how to read a room and will align herself with the strongest person in the house. Her social game will influence the vote to her liking, and she has no problem twisting the truth to suit her best. And to get a little bit more into her, she sees herself as the gal. She lives in, I already talked about that, her energy. She likes to call herself Big Daddy K. She's bubbly and smart and is called out for being a regular person by the interviewer, which I thought was really funny. And she says that looking good is her weakness. She talks about being a 911 operator and how it can get very heavy, but you forget about your own problems and you focus on the person at the end of the line. It's an honor to be a first responder. She's confident that she will win and thinks she will win and compete in a pageant and win. She will be the king of the house and will be the biggest menace, but the one that Canada roots for. Getting more into her interview, she's incredibly knowledgeable about the game, a big fan of all the Big Brothers. She doesn't have the muscles to be a comp beast, but she's a very social person and has a real way with words that she can get her out of every situation. She wants to balance her numbers with everyone as well. She gets along well with people who are bubbly and upbeat, but doesn't go well with people who have a bully aura and a horrible tone, and it will cause her to react to it if she sees it. However, she doesn't see herself as a confrontational type, but can be if she needs to be. She also isn't a fan of snoring. She's very much single and isn't looking for a showmance, but if it happens, it happens, and very much sees herself as a softie. I absolutely adore her. People have been saying that she is like the winner of the season. And I will say right now, she gives like massive main character energy. Like Cozy's going like Cozy. She's going to be like she's going to be like the person to watch this season. I am so excited to see not just like her DRs and things like that, but also just how she bonds with everybody in the house. Because what I get from her is that she is somebody who is going to make these like really deep and personal connections with people. But she's also going to be someone where, like, if you cross her, you will never want to cross her again because she has that way with words. And you know that she's going to be someone who's, like, able to talk herself out of situations. And because of that, I think she's going to get really far in this game. I've seen her. I think it's also good that she said that, like, I'm not the confrontational type, but I will be if necessary. She knows that, like, she can't just sit back. You know, if someone is targeting her, she will bring out this more confrontational side of her, but she doesn't want to be just the confrontational type. She wants to rely on her social game. She wants people to see her in that way. And I think that's going to bode really well for her because she just seems like a very likable and fun personality. And because of that, I think she could potentially win this entire game. The only thing I worry about is she says that she isn't really great at comps. But the thing with BB Can is that there isn't as many like physical comps. There's a lot more like mental stuff and things like that. And I think that might help out Kuzi a lot. So yeah, I think she is going to do really well. I do not see any scenario in which she does not make jury. I think she is at the very least, if I had to say, she's top 3. She's top 3. That's where I see her right now. She's top 3. I don't know if she wins, but I think she at least makes it to the finale. I think she has the potential to win this game. I think she has such a great mind when it comes to Big Brother. The fact that she, you know, has dealt with so many stressful situations in her life before and things like that with being a 911 operator. I mean, she's ready for pretty much anything. And you can see that through her interview. And again, she gives me that main character energy. And I think if she's able to give that just through like her interview, I think she's going to give that to the majority of the house. And I think she's going to have people wrapped around her finger in this game. I very much see that from Kuzi. She's going to be somebody that you're going to want on your side, and she's going to have so many people on her side that when somebody tries to cross her, it's going to be nearly impossible to do that. And I think she's going to just absolutely kill it. I cannot wait to see how she does in this game. Absolutely one of my winner picks for sure. If it's not Daniel or John Michael, it's her. It's like those three for me are like the people who I'm like, yeah, these are the people who I think are winning. So yeah. What do you want to say about Kuzi?
This queen is absolutely my number one winner pick. Okay. I adore her. I echo you. She'll definitely be main character energy. She's definitely going to be a badass. Like, she just, and I can see her working with the girls, but also working with the guys too. Like, I can see her like having the guys wrapped around her finger for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if she doesn't win, like, she's at least making it far. But I mean, she's definitely my number one winner pick because she's just so iconic and she has such a great mindset. She seems very smart, very, like, just a very good talker. And like with her job, like, yeah, she could handle these she's been through a lot of stressful situations, but she's very strong and she can get through it. So she'll definitely be very strategic and just like, I could see her also just like having like lots of heart-to-hearts with people, bonding, having like any kind of conversation with people.
Oh yeah.
So she'll definitely be very likable. So yeah, with the comps, I only see her maybe winning like the like with the like what are the ones I'm looking for?
The mental comps.
Mental comps, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I could see her doing well in mental comps because she is very smart.
But I also don't think she's going to be a person that needs them. I will say.
No, that. I don't think. I feel like she could be someone who stays off the block.
Yeah.
Because who knows? Maybe she'll make it all the way to the end with not even being nominated.
That would be great.
Which would be iconic. So, yeah, she'll definitely be social, strategic, and like she'll be incredible. And I cannot wait to see her. And I just love her so much.
Yeah, she's definitely very high up for a lot of people, and deservingly so, because I think she has a lot of potential. And I think that's all. Is there anything else you want to say about Kuzi before we move on to the next person?
She's gonna kill this. Woo!
Yes. All right, so we go from Kuzi to our next person, even though for some reason I put this out of order. So we're gonna go ahead and scroll down here to the next person that I have on the doc.
Right.
That is Renee.
Okay. So Renee is 24. Her pronouns are she, her. She's from Vaughan, Ontario. She's a law student. She believes her goofy and bubbly personality will either land her an alliance with the other women in the house or a flirty showmance. Either way, her innocent appearance and sharp tongue will make her presence known in the game. And obviously more about her. She loves going out for cocktails, getting dressed up, and having bougie dinners. She loves makeup. She's studying to become a lawyer, and she is very out there, and the high-pitched voice throws her off. She thinks that piecing together her own narrative...
That throws her off. Throws other people off is what I meant to say.
Throws other people off, yeah. She thinks that piecing together her own narrative and help them believe what she wants them to will help her within the house. During her interview, she says she can't stop screaming because she can't believe she's here. She's hoping to form a girls' alliance and doesn't want to play for herself until she gets to the end, and she's always wanted to see a girls' alliance on BB Can, which we stand. Oh, yeah. She wants people who are transparent, honest, and don't act like they are top dog. She's willing to be feistier when someone pushes her buttons, and she's very transparent and very much an open book and her friends not knowing about this will be shocked about what she got herself into. She doesn't like hypocrites and isn't sure how she will do living with other people. All right. I do see her making at least jury. I mean, I don't know if I see her I don't really see her getting into a showmance, but I can see her using her flirtiness to her advantage a bit. Like, I can see her also having guys wrapped around her finger because she is just like adorable, very sweet, bubbly girl. But I can see her sticking with like maybe a group of 4 girls, kind of like the Ball Smashers, like maybe her and 3 others.
I mean, I'd love to see a girls' alliance happen. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, but I do really like her. Like, she's really she's very loud, like with her like screaming and stuff. So she'll definitely vibe with like Anika, Daniel, and John Michael in that sense. Wait, was it those? It was those 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she seems really fun, very sweet. I kind of see her going out in like a double in jury. Like, I could see her being like a second person to leave, because in the double, like I don't see her winning, but I definitely see her making jury, because she just seems like a very social, likable person, where she could also be like a pawn queen as well. Like, I see her, or maybe even a Claudia, being like a pawn queen. But, and I can see them vibing just because of their personalities. They'll definitely mesh.
Yeah, I definitely think they're probably gonna work together.
Yeah, but like, she seems like a sweet girl. Like, I don't see her doing it like this. I mean, I could see her doing pretty well in comps, and then like the social aspect, she'll obviously be well in. But obviously, with her being a law student too, like, she'll probably keep that to herself, so people just think she's like dumb and stuff, and she'll use that to her advantage. But like, with her strategic side, she'll probably keep that low key, only to her closest allies. So I could see her actually surprising people in that sense because of that. But yeah, as of right now, like, I see her making jury, but like going out in a double. But we'll see.
I'm so conflicted with her because on one hand, I will say I like that she wants to form this girls alliance. This seems to be like one of her main goals in the game. She says like it's something I've always wanted to see and things like that. She talks about how she talks about how she's willing to be feistier when like someone pushes her buttons. But then I think about her saying that she doesn't like living with other people and she doesn't like hypocrites and all this stuff. And then her constant like laughing and things like that. I can't tell if this is someone I'm going to enjoy watching or if she's going to annoy the ever living fuck out of me because of her. She gives me like Beth vibes at points from like
God, no.
9. And I'm hoping that's not the case, but there were points in the interview where she very much did give me that vibe. But taking that out of the equation, I do think she's making jury. I will agree with you on that. I just don't know how far she's really going to make it. And I don't know if she'll be somebody who's like just really playing a good game. I think she's going to be somebody that, again, could easily get eaten alive. I think between her and Claudia, if those two were to work together, I see her probably being the more dominant player and Claudia kind of being like her second in command in that way. I do see that with Renee. And I do think
but with her being a law student, I feel like she's going to be really smart.
Yeah, I will say that I think that's something that people aren't going to see coming is that she does have that law student type mentality in her, and that she's going to be able to like analyze people a bit more and kind of like wrap people around her finger. I just feel like there's always going to be somebody in the house that is a bit more up to date of what's going on. And because that Renee is just not going to have the greatest reads. But we'll see. I honestly am not really sure how she's going to do. I'm not super high on her. I think that she has potential, but right now she's kind of a question to me, if I'm being honest. I think that she could do really well, but I also could see certain things getting in the way. Let's say like she wants to make an alliance and it doesn't happen, or she tries to make a big move, because I do see Renee being someone who plays very hard. I do see her.
I can see that
potentially playing too hard too fast, and I think
I do see like maybe somebody catches her talking about wanting a girls' alliance.
Yeah, I do see that potentially. I also could see her being somebody who like wants to like. Let's say there's like somebody who has like won a lot of comps. She starts to like kind of see like their record in the game and she says it to the wrong person. She get clacked for it and then end up going. I see that happening to Renee. Like, I don't know. I see her being this like very big presence, but not in a way that's going to work to her favor. It's going to
we'll see.
Hurting her game. But we'll see.
I think right now her going out in like a jury double is kind of accurate.
Yeah, very much a question mark for me. We'll see how she goes. If I had to guess, I think the jury double makes sense. I think she's probably like 9th or 8th. I think that's probably where she ends up going. We'll have to see where Renee goes. I'm not like I'm not like very high on her, but I'm not totally like.
Oh, you have to scroll up because you missed somebody.
So yeah, that's Renee. We're gonna go ahead and move on to Roberto. He is 30 years old. He uses he/him pronouns. He lives in Toronto, Ontario. His occupation is he is a gym manager. And it says beauty, brains, and brawn. Roberto has the 3 main ingredients to win the game. More than just a pretty face, throwing comps will sway the house guests to underestimate his intelligence and athletic abilities. Keep him under the radar and off the block. And in his little interview to get more of some insight on him, people will see him as a jock or an asshole, but he has more layers, like an onion. He's open to a showmance, and his ideal woman is someone with a great sense of humor or mindfulness and likes to have fun. He thinks he'll be good with the physical and social side of the game. And in his interview, he says he's willing to cheat and manipulate, but sees it as a time and place thing. He thinks it's important to be good with everyone, but having your group is important and the people who have your back, but also having this group of people. He isn't against the showmance, but maybe not, has an open mind, and that's about it. He doesn't like being shushed or told to be quiet and thinks respecting boundaries is important and is open to meeting a lot of people and has had a lot of roommates in the past. I will be honest, I can't stand this guy. He seems very just like kind of cocky and full of himself. And I think for sure, like, he's going to be like a big comp beast. Like, he's going to win a lot of comps and things like that. And he's probably going to get very far in the game because of that. But if I'm being honest, I don't really see much more in Roberto because of it. He says in the beginning, he's like, oh, people are going to see me as an asshole. People are going to see me as a jock. And honestly, that's all I kind of see from him. Like, I don't see him getting terribly far. He kind of gives me Gino vibes in a way, where it's like he's winning a lot of comps and he doesn't really seem to have much of a mind for the game beyond that. And I think that's where he's going to be. I also probably see him getting into a showmance. I think it's very possible for Roberto to be the person that gets into one. I'm not really feeling him at all. I think that he is either going to get into some crazy alliance and it's going to be very like he's going to be in a very dominant position, or people are going to see him as like a big physical threat and he's going to go like early because of it. I just don't see him doing super well at all. But what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
He's just, he's so cocky. He definitely does give Gino vibes in my opinion too.
Yeah.
I just don't see. I don't know who he would even showmance with. Like, I don't see any of the girls vibing with him. But I feel like he would try and like get with like, I feel like he would try and get with like Renee or one of the girls, but like they'd be like, no, I'm not really.
Maybe the person we're about to talk about next.
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe her too.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I don't really see him doing well. Comp wise, he might win one of the first HOHs, but I don't see him maybe going farther than last pre-juror. Maybe like early jury, I don't know, but he's just a very big question mark for me. I'm just not really a fan, but we will see if he changes our minds.
And also the fact that he's like, oh, I don't like when people tell me to be quiet. It's like, oh God, that's very much a red flag to me. Like, I don't know what that means, but that does not give me positive vibes at all.
No,
that gives me the
because people are going to be like, really? You're like,
well, it also gives me
like
the
he's all about.
He's gonna say something really like sexist or something.
Or
like that.
I feel like he's just gonna rub people the wrong way.
Oh yeah. I see that
because I could also see him being first spoon.
Yeah. Honestly, if he doesn't win comps, which I feel like he's going to, I could very well see that.
I feel like first HOH is gonna go to like him or Hope. Or maybe like a Claudia because she's very small and athletic.
Yeah, I could see a Hope HOH for sure. Like, I feel like that's very possible. But yeah, not really feeling Roberto at all. Let's move on to the next person here. Let's talk about Santina.
All right. Santina is 29. Her pronouns are she, her. She's from Edmonton, Alberta. She's an esthetician.
Esthetician, I think is how she pronounced it.
Yeah, esthetician. Santina is determined and motivated to win big as a comp beast. Her strategy is to stay low-key when it comes to her competitive side until it's time to make her move. And more about her, she's kind of a hippie. She wants to live in a van and travel the world and woods with her dog. She is hungry for more life and wants to live every experience life has to offer. She started living on her own since 15 and sees herself as a hermit. She also loves cooking, especially... Was that supposed to say? Hmm? Bannock.
Hispanic.
No, Hispanic. Well, I think she said because Bannock, because it's like a thing, which is an indigenous bread. She is not here for a showmance, but will show off and make everyone jealous. In her interview, she sees herself as a super fan, knowing the game really well, and her vibe is to lay low and adapt, and win when she has to win, and lose when she has to lose. She is hoping for a 4-person alliance. She vibes well with people who are kind and clashes with people who are rude and close-minded. She doesn't like when people chew loud and plans to just be here. I mean, I don't mind her. She's not like one of my favorites right now, but like I definitely like I don't dislike her. Like she seems nice. She seems very like reserved, kind of quiet. Like she'll probably try and win maybe like as of right now, I see her being like one of the last pre-jurors or maybe like another like jury double as well. I just don't really know who I could see her vibing with as of right now. Maybe like a Jonathan because they're both reserved, or maybe she'll showmance Roberto. But like, I don't know. I could see her winning one of the first few comps and then just maybe, or she'll like maybe just won't vibe with people, or I don't know. She's just kind of a question mark right now. Like I see her either making it early jury-ish or like one of the pre-jurors. Not first boot. It's just I like her. Like I don't dislike her or anything. It's just I don't know. She's kind of a question mark.
The one thing I will say about her right off the bat, I think it is super iconic that she's like this like hermit of sorts. She wants to live in the van and things like that. It's
like, I love that.
This is why we need to see more like this. When people talk about like we need to see different kind of personalities on Big Brother, this is what we're talking about. We don't see a lot of stories like that where it's like, I just want to live in a van. I want to be with my dog and things like that. You know, I think that's going to be really fun to watch because she's
I will say I really do love her story. Like that's probably my favorite part of her intro.
Yeah, I think she has a very interesting story, but I will agree with you in terms of like how I think she's going to do in the game. She's very much a question mark to me as well. I think if she is this comp threat and if there is a possible girls alliance, that could go very well for her because I think she could be potentially the person that's like winning a lot of comps and keeping a lot of people safe. And she's seen the very like dominant position in that way. And I think she could get very far in the game. Or because of the fact that she's a bit more reserved and things like that, maybe she gets far because of it. Beyond that, I don't really know how she's really going to do. I think that there are definitely people in the game that are probably going to work with her. But I also don't know, who exactly she's going to really latch onto in this game. I think that she seems very personable, seems very fun, but there wasn't a lot about her that really stuck out to me beyond the story and things like that. And also, I mean, I'm excited to see her talk more about this indigenous bread that she likes to cook because I've never heard of it and I kind of want to try it. So,
Bannock, oh my God, Bannock is so good.
Or maybe I have had it. I don't know. But it does.
I haven't had it for a while, but I've had it before. It's really good.
Maybe I've had it. I don't know. But either way, I'm getting off track here. Either way, I didn't get a lot from Santina, but I do like what I've seen. I just don't really know how far she's going to go. So, yeah, she's kind of a question mark to me as well.
She kind of gives, like, quirky girl vibes.
Yeah, she really does. She really does. But I think that's all we need to say about Santina. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next person, which is Shania. Not Shania. She makes it very clear. Shania. She's 27 years old. She uses she, her pronouns. She resides in Victoria, BC. She is a bartender, and it says she will use her witty humor and no-holds-barred attitude as a distraction to manipulate the house guests from the sidelines. Being vulnerable and authentic will win everyone over in no time and carry her to the end. Other things to know about her is that she thinks she's the world's funniest bartender. There's this great moment where she's like trying to hand over a drink and it like falls off the table.
Oh, that was so funny.
Says that she likes to be very self-deprecating with her humor. People tell her she looks a bit intimidating. She also sees herself as a bit of a nerd. She loves fantasy, playing video games and watching anime, also reading fairy smut. On Friday, drinking shots, but then Sunday she's on the couch playing Zelda. She's single and just kind of living her life, but isn't opposed to meeting someone who looks a bit ill, tattoos or piercings, and just bad boys. She thinks she can be a trusting friend. They won't expect to be more cutthroat and just want people to laugh and love her. And she says she doesn't see herself as a super fan, but has watched every season, basically just in the background, and hasn't really analyzed it, but understands generally how the game works. Coming in, she wants to go in with no expectations. She has a strategy, but also knows how to be adaptable. And she wants people to see her as a friend, but has her toe in every pool. She thinks the best alliances are secret, and she thinks a 3-person one is the way to go. She doesn't want to be pigeonholed as the girl in the showmans and wants to shut down that storyline as much as possible. She thinks that she can be stubborn, but also knows when to keep her mouth shut and can attune herself to what people are looking for and like it when people are fun and don't take themselves seriously, but can't stand it when people are too serious all the time. She also is once again super organized, very clean, wants to make sure everything is, in order. She thinks a part of her is born for this and a part of her is terrified. And if she embarrassed herself, it is too late now. I love her. I think she's going to be so much fun to watch. She seems like a big like firecracker. Like I think she's going to be somebody who is like frequently like getting into fights with people. And I think it's going to be very fun to watch because she seems like a very big personality in that way. But then the other thing I like about her is that she has so many like varying interests. Like she's a bartender, but she also, likes to, she likes to just kind of lounge by the pool and things like that. And
play video games.
She's also like more of this like nerdy type who likes to play video games. So like she's going to bond with a lot of people over different things. And I think that's going to work out really well for her. Because of that. And I think that she's going to be, really great socially. I think she's probably going to have a really strong social game. I also like that she said that she only wants an alliance of 3 people because that absolutely like some of the best alliances in Big Brother have only been like 3 or 4 people. And I think that's something that she has a really good idea of. And I like that she says that like she is open, she's open to that. And that's kind of like what she wants to happen. She also like doesn't want to get into a showmance at all. She kind of wants to just shut that down. I like that she says that like, I don't want to be known as like the girl in the showmance because people
I love that.
her first, then they will the guy that's in the showmance. That does generally happen quite a bit. She does say that like she knows when to keep her mouth shut, but she can also be like kind of stubborn. That's really like my only concern with her, that she is going to be a little bit too stubborn. She's another person where like there could be somebody that she sees as like a really big threat and she wants to go for them, but then they don't really have the numbers to do so. But other than that, I see her doing really well. I think she at least is making top 6. That's where I see Shania going at this point. I think she's going to be a very entertaining presence. I'm so excited for like her DRs and things like that. She already seems like one of the most entertaining people on the cast for sure. I really liked her interview. I like her like spunky nature and things like that. And I just really like her vibe overall. So yeah, I think she's just going to be a ton of fun to watch. Very excited to watch her. I think she is going to be this very like very just like loud personality that I think is going to bond very well with quite a few people on this cast. Because this, like I said, there's a lot of big personalities on this cast, and I think it's going to go very well for Shania. So yeah, I see her doing really well. I think, like I said, I think she is going to be a person that gets into a lot of fights with people because that's just how she's going to be. But she did say that she is willing to keep her mouth shut when she needs to. So we'll see if that actually happens. But something about her, I see her being this like really like big personality that,
or maybe she'll like cross. Or maybe she'll be that person who like breaks up fights because like being,
or maybe she like instigates stuff, but she doesn't
because being a bartender, like she witnesses a lot of fights.
She also, the thing I also like is that she said she likes it when people aren't too serious. And I think that's going to work out for her as well. Like maybe if there's like something really serious going on, she's going to try to like lighten the mood, and people are going to see her as like, okay, Shania is someone who is always there if we need somebody to like depend on, if we need like somebody to just kind of lighten things up. And I think she's going to get very far because of that. So in many ways, I think Shania has a lot of different traits that I think are going to take her very far in this game. So yeah, I'm honestly very high on her. I think she's going to do really well.
Oh yeah, I adore her. She's so good. And honestly, I kind of get like runner-up vibes from her.
Yeah, I could see that. I really could actually.
And like the 3-person alliance, like obviously she likes tattoos and piercings. I kind of see her like 3-person alliance being like Kuzi and Dan.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of cool. Like they're all like different personalities, but like I think they would mesh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I could see her like definitely being someone who is very outspoken, very upfront, but I definitely see her being likable, being very social, because she does seem very nice. And like she's another person that people could probably have like heart-to-hearts with, and if they need advice and stuff, but then she'll also be there to lighten the mood, make things positive, make sure everyone's okay, and just like making sure everything stays upbeat. And like just her personality and her interests and everything is just, she's just very normal. She just loves like, she plays video games, she likes pool, she likes having drinks and like all that stuff. She's like a little nerdy gamer, and she's also like a fun, spunky, cool girl. And like I just think she is like the entire package, and I'm so excited to watch her. And you know who she kind of gives me vibes of a bit?
Who?
Alyssa from The Circle.
Oh, yeah. I can kind of see that.
Like, I could see her strategic side coming out and being like Alyssa, but actually going farther than she did.
Yeah.
Wow. But and then like with her DRs, I think she'll be super funny because she does seem funny. So I think with her DRs, I can see her being like Brittany from Big Brother US.
I could see that.
So I'm
especially because like again, she doesn't take herself very seriously.
Oh yeah,
and like that more self-deprecating humor. I'm excited to see that too.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be so fun to watch. So fun, so funny, and just like really kind person too.
She's gonna drop another drink.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. Is she gonna spill a drink into a fake plant?
Pull you?
Oh, that would be so funny.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I'm just so excited to watch her.
Drink in a sushi restaurant.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm very excited to watch her, and she's gonna be so entertaining.
Yeah, very excited for.
But yeah, also, she's definitely making it far, but as of right now, I see her being second place.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think she's at least getting like in top 6. I don't know where she goes after that, but that maybe I could see that happening. All right, let's talk about. We have 3 people left here. Let's talk about the next person. Talk to us a little bit about Ty.
All right, Ty is short for Terrell. But he is 28. His pronouns are he, him. I almost said she, her by mistake.
I know. Usually you're talking about girls. So
yeah, that was so funny. Was the Survivor one?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's from. But yeah, he
unintentional.
But anyway, he is from Toronto, Ontario. He's a personal trainer. He comes off as a physical threat and has a feeling his intelligence will be underestimated. Once this personal trainer's cover is blown, as a comp beast, he plans to dominate the game by making alliances with the outcasts. Plus, a showman's of romance along the way couldn't hurt. And then more about him. He's a natural-born athlete between soccer, taekwondo, football. He's obviously a trainer. He also sees himself as the biggest comp threat. When he was 17, he enlisted into the armed forces, and it taught him a lot. He also has a very close relationship with his mom. He is superbly single and is worried he would get too caught up in his feelings and would throw off his game. In his interview, he doesn't really know what to expect, but is mostly excited. He isn't a super fan and has only started watching the show 4 to 5 months ago. Although he has binge binge watched 3 seasons ago due to one of his exes being a big fan.
So that was really funny.
That was funny. He thinks it will be hard to fight his physicality, but hopes to pin it on someone else. And he also hopes to get into a bromance or showmance to have that in his back pocket and take advantage. It may be a floater for an extra vote. He is a big alliance guy and sees it as a numbers game. He will not turn anything down, but he won't go in and be a sleazeball either. And his biggest worry is being away from home and not knowing who everyone is aside from, his gut instinct. He says he wants to work with genuine people, and he will be wary of anyone who is a sleazeball and will view them as weak. He doesn't like loud people, and while he comes off as extroverted, he is actually introverted, and he doesn't think he has anything to hide. I mean, he seems like a nice guy. Like, he's not my favorite, I think, but I don't hate him. He'll definitely be good with comps. I mean, I can see him making it like, I don't know. He's a kind of another question mark. Like, I can either see him making like early jury or like somewhere in pre-jury. Not first boot for sure though. Because he'll probably win one of the first HOHs. Maybe he'll make like some kind of alliance, but we'll see. And he seems like he'll bond with like the more reserved people, so like a Jonathan, a Santina, people like that. But yeah, like as of right now, like I hope he does well. I want him to do well. He seems like a nice, kind guy, doing it for his mom and everything. But like, I mean, he could also go and I could also see him being a showmance with like a Santina. Maybe, but we'll see, because obviously, or like maybe they flirt, but he realizes he obviously doesn't want to get thrown off because he's trying to win. Yeah. But yeah, right now, game-wise, he's kind of a question mark.
So for me with Ty, like I feel like out of the like these are the comp beasts of the season, to me, he's the one that has the most potential. I think that the fact that he's like a lot more reserved, but he also comes off as extroverted, I think is going to work really well in his favor, because he's going to be this really big physical threat, but he recognizes that that's going to be something that people target him for. Mm-hmm. And I think what he can do really well is show them that that's not what I'm all about. I'm actually someone who, you know, is willing to talk game with people. I am willing to, you know, work with both sides of the house. You know, he's going to blend more with the quieter players, but then he'll talk more with the extroverted players and really just kind of do a good job of talking to everybody. And so I think it's going to put him in a spot where I think people are going to view him as like, if we need somebody to win a comp, we will rely on Ty, and Ty is going to help us, you know, get that comp. But I think unlike Hope, who I think that's all his game is going to be, I think Ty secretly has a lot more, you know, people on his side that actually do see him. So while they think he's doing their bidding, they're actually doing his bidding. And I think it's actually going to get Ty very far. I don't know how far he's going to get, but I do think he is making it far in this game. Just something about him, especially the way that he, you know, was talking about the game and things like that, where he says that, you know, he is going in kind of with an open mind, and you know, he wants to take advantage of people that aren't really playing the game as much and kind of like latch onto them for an extra vote, and that he is this like really big alliance guy and things like that. It really seems like he's willing to do pretty much anything, and I think that's something that is really good when it comes to playing Big Brother. There's a lot of things you can't really predict, and I think that's something that Ty recognizes. And I think especially the fact, like I said, he really wants to prioritize his social game. It's going to work out really well for him. So I actually think he has a lot of potential, and I think he is going to get quite far.
I could also see him being like a silent killer, same with Shania.
Honestly, yeah.
But like he definitely is like a question mark of where he's going to like what like his placement's
I don't know placement,
because I don't know if he'll be jury or pre-jury, but we'll see.
I think he makes jury. I get definitely like jury vibes from him. I just don't know where he goes after that, but I do think that he is going to play a really good game. I also honestly love to see him winning first HOH. Like I very much get.
Sorry, I accidentally dropped my laptop off my little desk.
Oh no! I said I see him getting first HOH. Like I definitely get that vibe from him. So
I can see that too. Like he could be another one who possibly wins.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all we really need to say about Ty. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next person here. This is Vanessa. She is the oldest house guest on the season, kind of throwing it back to like BBUS when they have like the one older house guest. They've been doing a better job with that lately. This season feels like now we're just back to the one older house guest, and that is Vanessa this season. She is 42. Her pronouns are she, her. She resides in Calgary, Alta, and
Alberta.
It says Alta.
It's Calgary, Alberta.
Oh, well, I guess that's a typo. Her occupation
no, that's like a no, I think that's abbreviation.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Her occupation is she is a yoga instructor, and it says this driven mom, wife, and yoga instructor is unapologetic and always authentically herself. She will be the shoulder to cry on in the BB Can 11 house, yet also will keep the house guests in line. Getting into her background a little bit more, she talks about how she has 3 children and sees herself as the cool mom. She loves house music.
She's like, I'm not a regular mom. I'm a cool mom.
I know, that was great. And she says that she thinks the Big Brother house will be a breeze because of it, and it will give her family the appreciation they have for her. She also has had alopecia her entire life and also vitiligo, but has embraced it. And her strategy is to be the wing mom, find an alpha to do their laundry, take care of them, and manipulate them. She has been a fan and auditioned since season 1. She's glad that she's here now, having grown and matured since then. She talks more about the wing mom strategy, says she will mesh well with alphas, but also likes underdogs and people who float in between. They're the ones that she may take the issues with. She doesn't like hair in the shower and nastiness she can't handle. She also doesn't like the opening of the pillow facing inside the bed. I'm actually with her on this. I like having that outside the bed as well. Just a little bit more comfy to sleep. She's willing to lie and manipulate, especially because it's not like she hasn't gone through her kid's phone. She does online yoga, so she has nothing to hide and is a free spirit. Okay, so getting the obvious out of the way, yes, she is the oldest. She is the oldest house guest on the season. That usually isn't great. A lot of the time, it's either like, they go super early or they go like early jury and they don't really do a lot in the game. But I will say, I think the thing with Vanessa that's going to stick out is that she is one of the house guests that has, I think, one of the clearest strategies coming into the game. She knows what she wants to do. She wants to be this wing mom of sorts. She's going to latch onto somebody that's in this great position, and she's going to motivate them, and she's going to hype them up. But she also will, basically she will cut them if she starts to, recognize that they're turning on her. And I think that's the thing about Vanessa that's actually going to be really well, is that she's going to have this killer instinct that people aren't going to recognize. They're going to see her as just really laid back. She's just the cool mom. She's just here to have fun. But she also will cut your throat when she needs to. And I think that's something that Vanessa is going to do really well in the game. So I actually see her doing really well here. I think she has, like I said, a really clear strategy. I think if she's able to implement it, if she's able to find that person she can be the wing mom to, I think that she's going to get really far. She also, I think, she wants to be this like, shoulder to cry on and things like that. I think that's also going to take her really far. Honestly, I have a lot of hope for Vanessa, more than I honestly thought I was going to. I think she is going to make jury, and I honestly think she will make it far in the game. At least, I'm going to say top 7. Top 7, I think, is where Vanessa's going to go. After that, I'm not sure, but I think she's at least making top 7. I think she has a really great story. I think she has a really great strategy. And I think all of that will represent a much better player than I think people are really going to expect. And I think that's all going to work out in her favor. So, yeah, I have a lot of hope for her, actually.
I mean, I actually do like her, too. I can see her making it to, like, she could also be another one who makes it to, like, the double in jury or something. I don't see her making it, like, super, super far, but, like, I'd see her making at least jury. But, like, or maybe she'll get targeted early, who knows? We'll see. But, like, she just seems like a very chill woman, and, like, her strategy is, like, really great, too. Like, I like her strategy a lot, and, like, She likes underdogs. She likes alphas, and like because she was really clear about that.
Yeah,
the alpha thing, and like she's very unique, and she's just like she'll be that like shoulder to cry on, and she's like the cool mom that will just like be there for people and everything. So I do have a lot of high hopes for her. Like she definitely has a lot of potential. So I hope she doesn't go early and also her story is very touching and emotional.
Oh yeah.
I hope she doesn't go early because that would be sad. I really like her. I really enjoy her so far.
Yeah, she seems like she's going to be really fun to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else we want to say about Vanessa before we transition to the last person we're talking about?
Just please do well. Don't go for her. Don't go for her early. All right.
All right. So we transition from Vanessa to the last person here, who I honestly don't know what the fuck he's doing on this cast, but Aly, talk to us about Zach.
All right. Zach is 34. His pronouns are he, him. He's from Ottawa, Ontario. He's a startup senior vice president. He's a man with a calculated plan. With tricks up his sleeves, he hopes to rule the BB Can 11 house by dominating comps and building strong connections with his housemates. And other things about him, he thinks he's a big deal and has been referred to as the Kim Kardashian of Ottawa, which is like really...
What the fuck that means.
And people know who he is, but they're not quite sure why. One day, he will run for politics because he thinks he will do well as prime minister, even going as far as to say, while Trudeau says he was helped by his looks, but he also would be. Please don't be a Republican.
Yeah, please don't.
He is also SVP of revenue, which means senior vice president, and when he walks into office, he is a full-on hype man. He is currently on a carnivore diet, and if he wants to be the animal, he has to eat the animal. He thinks he is the social game, and thinks no one will have the experience that he has in the humor and fun that he has, with which he thinks will equate to a win. In his interview, he's seen the first season and the last season, and nothing in between, but by no means does he know exactly what's coming. He sees himself as a competitive person by nature, and competition brings the best out of him. And relationships are important, which he plans to build with 2 to 3 people and find different skill sets and that they may have, and that will improve his game as well. So relationships first, competitive, and competition second. He is not a solo person. He is a team sports guy and has always played them with his entire life. And he wants to be the Batman to someone else's Robin. He doesn't think he will get along with big personalities that don't know when to turn it down, which he thinks he can. He is currently in a relationship, but is a flirt by nature and can't turn it off. He has been told he is very high maintenance, and he has to remind himself he is never alone. This guy, he's just so boring. He honestly gives me like first boot vibes. Or he's gonna just like win comps and like go like somewhere early or somehow pre-jury, or maybe like really early jury, but I don't have high hopes for him at all. He's very cocky. He's like the Kim Kardashian thing. Like, really, what the heck? What was that all about? And like, I mean, he'll probably like vibe with the guys, or like the low-key guys, like a Jonathan or Roberto, like all the cocky guys. And well, Jonathan's not cocky, but he's just boring. But
seemingly, we don't know. Maybe he is.
Hopefully not, but I mean, he'll definitely vibe with Roberto. They're both cocky as hell. So I don't have high hopes for him at all. Hopefully he changes my mind and proves me wrong, but right now I have very low expectations for him.
Jesus fucking Christ, where do I begin? Look, I think the best way to sum up Zach's chances in the house is to look at when Jed has asked all of these people, you know, what is the type of person you're going to clash with? What have they all said? Someone who is stuck up, somebody who is full of themselves, somebody who takes themselves too seriously, somebody who wants to be top dog. Zach literally checks all of those boxes, like every single one of those boxes.
He's very entitled.
This guy thinks he's hot shit. He thinks he's going to rule the house. he goes as far as to say, maybe I'll be fucking prime minister one day. And he's going to get in the house and people are going to want him out because of it.
Because he kind of also gives like Gino vibes.
Yeah, I guess, but he also gives me the vibes of like the alpha males we tend to see on like BBUS that like think they're amazing and think that like nothing, like they're just like untouchable and nothing bad can happen to them, and then they end up getting eaten alive. Like that's, you know, who else he reminds me of? He reminds me of fucking like Brent from BB23. Like he gives me that type of vibe. Like someone who's just really cocky and so full of himself that he can't even see the game in front of him. That's going to be Zach. He's going to think that he is so well set up in this game that he doesn't need to campaign. He doesn't need to make alliances because everybody's just going to love him. And
yeah, he's probably going to be that one person who's too confident.
Yeah, no, literally, that's what's going to happen. He's going to get too confident and he's going to leave because of it. I don't see any scenario in which this guy does well on this season. I can't think of a single person, even Roberto, that actually is going to want to work with him long term. I don't think there's anybody. I think he's going to get in there. People are going to say, Zach is doing too much. Zach is rubbing me the wrong way. Zach is, acting like he's already won the game, and they're going to want him out because of it. Unless he somehow becomes this like amazing comp beast, which I really don't see, to be honest with you. I think there are other people in here that are way more equipped for that title. I just don't see Zach doing well here at all. He has pretty much all the red flags that you typically see within a first boot. I don't think this is going to be a Kevin Jacobs situation where he intentionally plays up his like ego for the intro, so people don't actually know how he's going to play, which is genius, by the way. And I wish more people would implement that strategy. He had me fooled for sure. I don't think this is going to be the case with Zach, though. I think he really is just coming in like super cocky and full of himself, and he's going to play that way. And he's going to end up being, if he's not first boot, one of the first few boots because of it. I cannot see a scenario in which this guy does well in the season. I just can't. Like, out of everybody else, I honestly like. It could go either way. It could for some of these people, even some of the people that like I don't like a Jonathan or a Roberto or something like that. Like there definitely are scenarios in which I could see them potentially doing better. I don't see it for Zach. I just don't see it. I think he is not made for this cast at all. I don't think he's made for this game. I don't think he knows what he's getting himself into, and I think it's going to bite him in the ass because of it. He's not doing well. That's
not at all. I hope he proves us wrong, but we'll see.
I don't think he can.
I don't see it, but I have very low chances that will happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's literally the one person this season that I don't think has any chance of proving us wrong, but we'll see. All right, so I still have to finish getting these pictures for the draft. So while we do that, go ahead and talk to our lovely 0 viewers, and we will
Maybe
get this.
People are just like busy or sleeping right now, but hopefully people watch.
We will get this draft ready in a second.
Okay. Well, I'm very excited to at least watch the finale and see what it's all about and see what the digital dailies is. Hopefully it's like not awful. Obviously I would love to have feeds back, but even if they don't this season, I'm just hoping they bring it back next time and realize they made a mistake. But overall, I love BB Can, and like this is a pretty great cast overall. They all seem but most of them seem very fun. And I'm very excited to do this draft. It's just me on camera.
Yeah, because they don't need to see my profile picture.
But it's funny.
They get enough of me.
No, you're amazing.
At some point, you need to realize when people have had enough of you.
No, you're amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. But yeah, follow us on Twitter, AlyCatXO and Kevin Falk 7. And hopefully we get more viewers for this, just because, like, let me go check. Let me see how many people even like.
That's 0 so far.
We've had like one here and there. Let me see how many. Oh, we have one watching right now.
Oh, I think it's you.
Oh, wait.
It's you.
I mean, earlier we had like 1 or 2 viewers.
Yeah, we have people like in and out.
But yeah, we'll probably get more later. It's just because I guess it was a little bit late, but it's okay. Yeah. But very excited to see the first episode. And of course we're gonna do the Survivor premiere later on. I'm not
excited for whatever the fucking twist is gonna be.
Oh gosh, we will see. But yeah, Survivor, I'm excited to cover that premiere before the new episode. And yeah.
It was quite the start.
And we're definitely gonna have more stuff come. We're gonna have more stuff coming. It's just gonna take some time. Also, we have a viewer that's not me because I'm not on the thing right now.
Oh shit! Hello.
Oh, hello, and now it's 0 again. That's so funny. How come it's also not showing up on Facebook?
No, it is.
I don't see it on my app.
It showed up for me.
Let me look on like the computer.
It showed up for me. Here, I'll tag you.
Oh, maybe you didn't tag me for some reason. How many more pictures do you have to upload?
I'm on Renee right now.
So you're almost done?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was trying to do like as we went through people, but like it wasn't working out.
Okay. That's okay. The draft won't take long at all. Also, no. That did not work. You sent I saw the tag on the stream, but that's it.
That's so weird. I don't know what happened.
Let's see.
Okay.
Well, Facebook's sometimes weird sometimes with the things showing up.
Yeah. Unless I did it wrong, I don't know.
Wait, how did you upload it?
How
did you upload it?
Through Facebook and YouTube. I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Huh?
The audience is only me for some reason.
Wait, what?
For the Facebook.
Huh?
When it said edit audience, it's on only me.
Oh, not that.
Show you.
How do you fix that?
I changed the button.
Oh. That's awkward.
Yeah. There, I fixed it. It was so weird.
That's really funny. You probably just clicked the wrong thing by mistake.
Yeah. Well, hello everyone that's watching. I'm currently trying to put together this draft.
I also reacted.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you cared enough to do that.
I love that right now the only comment is you just tagging me. That's really funny.
That is actually really funny.
Because you said it to only me.
I don't even know how I did that. It's like never done that before.
That's so funny. Awesome, King. You slay.
With what?
Everything.
Sure, if that's what you want to call it.
Oh, yeah. Also, should I get a microphone for this, for like our podcasts?
I mean, you could, but like I think the one on your computer is fine.
That's true. I mean, maybe. We'll see. Okay. Oh, yeah. For the draft, since we didn't end up using random.org for our Survivor one, this was just, I ended up putting it on, I just put our names on random.org earlier, and I have the first pick.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But if we do a snake draft, you get 2 picks after.
Randomizer, in air quotes.
I am always truthful.
Sure.
I don't rig things.
Says the rigger.
No.
Okay, 2 more and then we're good.
Okay.
Then I just have to make the thing.
Outer Banks actor Charles Eston calls himself a reformed bad decision machine when explaining new single One Good Move. He releases his first single from his debut album. That's cool. He was also on the show Nashville. He's very talented.
I do not watch that show.
Nashville and Outer Banks are good.
I've seen a couple episodes of Nashville. It wasn't my thing.
It's such a good show.
I thought it was going to be like Glee or Smash, and then it wasn't. And I was like...
Well, it is a music show, but it's a country show.
Soap opera.
It has Hayden Panettiere. It has Connie Britton. Some icons.
Yeah. Shout out to Kirby.
Oh, yeah. Well, Hayden Panettiere and Connie Britton were in a lot of things.
Yeah. Catch Connie Britton on Dear Edward, which is not the sponsor of this video because we don't have those.
We don't have a sponsor right now. Maybe one day. We'll see.
Yeah.
Will we ever get a sponsor?
Sponsored by Audible.
Oh, no. I mean, Audible's cool, though, but we currently, if we ever get will we ever get a sponsor? Stay tuned.
Yeah. This is called a character arc.
Oh, yeah.
Right now we're building a storyline.
Right now we're just talking about random stuff while you're doing the pictures.
Yeah, we're trying to, I don't know what we're doing.
Right?
Yes, I know I have to create a tier list. I'm making it right now. I know how this works. Thank you.
Good job.
The only thing that's annoying about this is every time I make one of these, I have to put exactly like what it's for.
Oh, yeah.
It's really annoying. I have to be like, this is a tier list for this.
Also, this nasal spray you got me earlier works wonders.
Oh, that's good.
I've also been putting a lot of chapstick on tonight.
That's good.
I wonder who our viewer is on Facebook right now.
Oh, no.
We have one viewer. We have one viewer. And
it's not me. I can tell you that.
It's not me either. Hello, viewer.
Hello, whoever you are. Are you excited for BB Can 11 with no feeds?
Ugh, so sad. Still a great show. Just like
hopefully a good season.
But just like, what is this?
It's just a weird season. I feel like it's just a weird season to talk about.
It's just so weird. Like, it's just a weird decision that they wouldn't have feeds.
Yeah, like well, like I understand they don't have like the sponsors and things like that they need.
I get that, yeah.
But you look at like the thing, like look at BB24 last year. Like they had the highest ratings they ever have. That was not because of the episode. It was absolutely because of the feeds.
Yeah.
Like undoubtedly because of the feeds.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we will see what happens with that.
Okay. Choose file.
Woo!
You're almost done.
Perfect.
Upload a set of images for the tier list.
Who's excited? Who's excited to see us do the draft?
Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Who am I missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm missing someone. I only have 15.
Show me. Maybe come back on video and show me on screen share.
I'm trying to figure out who I'm missing. Ow! Wait, no, I have that person.
Are you missing a guy or a girl?
I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, that's who I'm missing. Okay.
Who?
Hope.
Oh.
I literally looked up a picture of Hope. What the fuck?
Good job.
This always happens. I always forget like one person.
Oh, it's okay.
Why do people put me in charge of tier lists? And by people, I mean myself. Why do I appoint myself to this position?
Because you always like to do the ones for just us.
Yes, but I'm shitty at finding them.
No, you're not. You are very smart.
No.
Yes. Kevin, okay. Great. Kevin, great.
Lies. Okay. We are all ready, I think.
Okay.
Not quite.
Also, your picture on here is really funny.
Oh, yeah.
You're literally like looking this way, like you're shocked at something.
Show X. Yes, I want to submit.
Hey, we have two. We have 2 viewers. One YouTube, one Facebook.
What else do I have to? Hello.
Love y'all.
Submit. Yeah, I want to submit. What am I missing? Oh, add a URL for image credits. Okay, that's what I have.
Okay. Ooh, we have 3 viewers. 2 Facebook and 1 on YouTube.
I don't know why it's not letting me submit.
How is everybody tonight?
Good, if this lets me submit the draft so we can do the draft. But thank you for asking. Yeah.
I hope everyone's doing good. Don't forget to drink your water.
Oh, that's the issue.
Also, in my water tonight, I actually put like a flavor in it. So the one I got is the one I used today is like a rainbow flavor.
Okay, I figured out the issue.
What?
It said BB Can 10 instead of BB Can 11, and we already have a title that says BB Can 11 Draft Maker tier list.
Oh, good job.
So that was the issue. Okay, now that we're ready and we have some viewers, we're going to get started.
Well, we have one right now.
Well, hopefully the others come back at some point. All right, are you ready?
Yes. And you're still off cam.
Wait, why is this missing some people?
Huh?
Why are we missing some people?
I don't think you are.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This only has 13.
Where are the other pictures?
I don't know.
Oh, also go back on camera.
This is going great.
Why aren't
16 files.
Why aren't you on camera yet?
I don't know.
You should be on camera for the podcast.
I will be in a second.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Edits.
Did you not upload them all?
No, I did, but it only took 14 of them.
Who's it missing?
Here, I guess I'll just redo it.
Oh.
Okay. We're going to try this again. Okay. There's some people who are here twice, but it's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13. Wait.
Is there someone missing still?
Those are the same 13 people.
Oh, shit. Is there somebody it's not taking?
I think you have, I'm trying to think here. Yeah, you're missing Zach. Hold on. Who else are you missing?
Renee, I think.
No, you're missing. Hold on. Yeah, Renee. Yeah. I think Renee.
And is that everybody?
Oh, Claudia.
Oh. Claudia, Zach, and Renee. Okay, does that do it? Let's see. And it still doesn't do it.
Take away some of the doubles.
I'm going to take away all the pictures. This is such a disaster.
Why is it doing that?
I don't know what's going on.
It's so weird.
How do you get rid of current images on a tier list?
Just click them all and then cut them?
No, it doesn't. It says upload a set of images.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what's going on here.
Maybe just click it once with like your mouse. Click on the photo once and then just exit.
It's still the same 13 people. We're going to try this one more time.
Okay.
If this doesn't work, we're just not doing a draft, or we'll do it off camera.
Or no, we'll just do it without the pictures.
Same thing. It's the same 13 people over and over again.
We don't need to. I mean, is there any other site we can use that's not tier list?
Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to draft these 13. This is going to be stupid.
No,
but we're going to draft these 13 people.
Wait, why don't we just do it like I'll just put the draft in like a Google Doc.
No, we're going to draft these 13 people.
Wait, no, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just put it in the Google.
Add in the other 3. I will add in the other 3 once well,
we're not. I'm still gonna, because what if we want to draft like one of like Renee or Claudia beforehand? We'll still just pick them.
So then what do we do here?
We just don't do pictures.
But how do you do a draft without pictures?
Because I've done plenty of drafts where I just make a note.
I don't really want to do that though.
And that's also what. And then I think we've done that before. Because we don't have to use tier lists. It's not the end of the world. Please go in video.
That's what we typically use, though.
I mean, we don't have to. Go in video. Because I'm sure our audience wants to see you.
Okay, give me a second, everybody. I'll be back.
Okay. Hello. We are having technical difficulties with tier list. Alright. So I'm very excited for this draft, but obviously sorry about the wait. It's tier list is just being very funky right now. But I'm having a lot of fun doing this. It's really great. And this podcast is so much fun, and like it's been a few years now since we started, and it's just like surreal to me that we have this. Oh, yay, we have a viewer again. How are you tonight? I hope you're doing well. It's definitely getting late. Since I'm in Pacific time, it's 12:09 a.m. for me. But like Eastern, it's obviously 3:10 now. Oh, oh my gosh. Hey. Thank you so much for watching. This means a lot to me and Kevin. And very, very sorry that this draft is taking forever. It's just the tier list. He's just trying to fix it because it was just being really weird for some reason, like with a couple of the pictures. And then yeah, so I think he's just trying to make it and make a fresh new one, make sure it works. So we will be doing the draft very shortly. But yeah, so far, like obviously we've been so busy for like before our Survivor draft and cast assessment podcast and before this one, we've just been very inconsistent because our schedules have just been so busy with work and watching stuff and different things, and just IRL stuff. We've just been so busy for our podcast and everything, so we haven't really been doing that much. But we're definitely trying to get back into that and be more consistent again and just do what we love. And it's been so much fun, so exciting to get back into it, and I just love doing this. And also one day, would any of you buy like Conversation with Kely merch at all? Like maybe one day we'll see. That'd be really cool to try to get or to like sell and stuff one day, but we will see. That's like a question mark. That's just kind of a maybe for now, but it'd be really cool. But also, hit me or Kevin up or both, like if like if you want any if you have any suggestions for topics and stuff that we should have and everything, like things that we should go over. Also, follow our Twitter at with Kely. That's our Conversation with Kely account, which we don't really post on these days much, but we definitely need to post more. And then obviously Aly Kssan is my Twitter, Kevin Falk 7 is his. And yeah. Any questions at all for us while we're waiting for the draft? I'm just kind of vibing in the meantime. Oh, yay, you're back.
Figured it out.
Did you fix it?
Yeah, the files were too big. That was the problem.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't accept big files.
I was just kind of chatting with like the viewers and just chatting about random stuff.
Okay, so
all right, since obviously because of the
sorry about that. That was very embarrassing. Anyway,
it's okay. You're fine. Also, because of the randomizer, I'm gonna go ahead and pick my first.
Okay, so who are you going with first?
All right, this is so hard because there's a lot of good people, but because this is my number one winner pick, I gotta go with Kuzi.
All right.
No, you get two.
Okay, so I feel like my first one should be pretty obvious because I really hyped him up earlier on, and I think that he definitely does have the potential to win. I really like his story. I really like his personality. I think that he's going to have a really strong social game, but also be really cutthroat and just has a lot of great ideas of what to do heading in. So I am going to go ahead and pick Daniel. And
I had a feeling.
Yes, I'm so excited. I think he's gonna kill it. My second person, my second person here to even things out a bit. You might be surprised when I'm actually gonna pick Shania.
Oh, I was gonna pick her next.
Yeah.
Unless we do a little switch. Unless we do a little switch later.
No, we're not doing that. No trades, nothing like that. We don't do that around the conversation with Kely drafts.
No. No, I'm just teasing you. Okay. My next pick. Also, I thought you were gonna pick JM.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pick. My next pick is going to be. I'm gonna pick Annika or Anika.
Okay.
Okay, and then let's see. Just to even it out, I think I'm gonna go with Ty.
Okay. Perfect, because then I will go ahead and pick JM, because I was planning to pick him. So
I mean, I like him too. I just was like, I know you want him, so
yes, I very much wanted JM. And then
because I know you were like he was one of your other winner picks.
Oh, very much so. But I was trying to even it out of it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone else that's left here. Of the people that are here that are left, I think I have the most confidence in Amal, so I'm gonna pick her.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Renee next.
Okay.
Because I mean, I do at least see her making jury, and she'll obviously be very likable socially, and she'll just be. I feel like she'll be just really fun, so I'll go with her. And then my next one, a lot of these men I don't really have a lot of confidence in.
Yeah, same.
Give me Santina.
Okay, perfect. Because next person I'm going to pick, we said it before, I think is very much the dark horse of this game. And I think if this person is able to do what they said they're going to do, come in and kind of just let the louder players come after each other. Meanwhile, they can just chill. I think they do have a lot of potential. So I'm going to pick Dan. I think out of the people left.
Wait, I totally forgot about him.
Well, too bad. And then other person here, just because I actually do think she has quite a bit of potential, I'm going to pick Vanessa.
Okay. All right. My next pick is going to be Claudia, just because she's at least adorable and because she's so tiny. And I feel like she'll do well, like with comps for sure, because she is athletic. But I can also see her being very social and likable. So, yeah, I definitely have confidence in her.
I don't have confidence in any of the four guys left.
Oh, gosh. Right? I guess give me Hope.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Fuck. Okay, of these three, the person I see doing the best is honestly Roberto, so I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
And then just because I don't want to give you Zach, I don't want you to have to suffer. I'll just take him.
Okay. You sure?
Well, here's the thing. We had Kevin last, and Kevin won. And I got Kevin.
That's true.
So, you know what? On the off chance that Zach somehow does better than we think, I'm actually going to take this as a positive.
I mean, remember when we thought on the Survivor when we thought we didn't have the most confident in Kane, the Canadian, but I took him just because he's Canadian, and then so you wouldn't have to hate him.
Yeah, that's exactly why I took Zach. So
okay, so I end up with Jonathan. Okay.
Okay, so
perfect.
As it is, I have
these drafts are great. I love them.
Yes, Daniel, Shania, JM, Amal, Daniel, Vanessa, Roberto, and
no,
Zach.
You have Dan, not Daniel, a second time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Dan, Vanessa. See, it's confusing. Dan, Vanessa,
right?
Roberto, and Zach. And then you have...
I have Kuzi, Anika, Ty, Renee, Santina, Claudia, Hope, and Jonathan.
All right.
And I'm very happy with both of these drafts.
Yes, me too.
And obviously I was teasing. I don't like doing a switching.
Yeah,
because no. That's more fun like this.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
With that is our draft, and that is your cast assessment for Big Brother Canada 11.
It ended up being way longer because of the technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was almost only 2 hours, and then the technical difficulty happened and fucked everything.
I thought it was kind of funny.
For those who are still watching, thank you, especially after those technical difficulties. I don't know what the hell happened, but it took forever. But we fixed it, and now we're good. But with that said, it's going to be a weird season to talk about, like I said, without feeds, but I'm still hoping for the best with this season. We've had 2 really great seasons. I hope that we're able to keep up the streak here. And other than that, stay tuned for our coverage of BB Can. Also look forward to our coverage of the first episode of Survivor 44. It was pretty crazy. We got a lot to talk about for sure. So look forward to that. Anything else you want to plug, Allie?
I mean, I already plugged our Twitters and our Kely one, but follow us there. Obviously, subscribe to our YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we need to make more socials. We need to wait, do we have a Facebook group?
No, we don't.
We have to make that. We should also make an Instagram.
We should, yeah.
And maybe a TikTok?
Maybe. I don't really post on there, but yeah.
It could just be for promotions and stuff.
Yeah, we could.
Promos. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, I think, until our Survivor one tomorrow. Yeah. Well, today.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, hope you guys enjoyed it, especially the technical difficulty. That was the best part. Am I right? No, in all seriousness, this was a lot of fun to do. Hope this is a really fun season. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, couples who I almost did my intro from my regular outro. Technical difficulty threw me off. Anyway,
that'd be funny.
With that said, couples who podcast together, stay together. See you guys later. Love you.